Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on your YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to another thrilling, throbbing, that hurt, stop doing that, episode of the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
Stop doing what, Maffew?
That intro.
Well, that or the girthy thing.
Intro into where?
It's Jack, it's Ross, it's Maffew, it's even bloody Papa Jack himself.
Oh,
It's the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. Oh, sorry, he's all right.
Snapped
he's a
his
pro.
damn
He can
neck.
take it. All right,
Yeah.
go on. Jack, how the hell are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Maffew. I'm glad there's been not all of the pay-per-views this week. That's been refreshing.
Isn't it great? No news whatsoever this week.
I'd like to give a shout out to Aidan Gibbons, by the way. News. What does Tom call him? The tribal news editor-in-chief or something like that.
I'm not calling him that.
The silly news monkey, I think his name is.
The lesser news Gibbon. Because whenever something like this happens, he's got like a personal vendetta with CM Punk, for example. Because,
Oh, well, yeah.
But yeah, bloody hell. It's all changing.
Yeah.
Vince is, well, he's still there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still about.
Everything different, everything new. Vince still there.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm in a weird mood because I'm kind of with it. I'm always happy seeing you guys and doing the commentary. Yay, wrestling. But at the same time, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I had this recurring dream of me waking up in my bed, looking at my phone. It just said, Maffew, you're dead. I'm like, oh. But like as if I'm reading the news on Twitter, like, hey, Maffew, have you seen the news? Oh, what's happened now? Oh, I'm dead. And then I'll be like, wake up, go, oh, that wasn't very nice. And then be like, oh. Let me go back to bed, and then after like a few more like I don't know, minutes or hours without telling sleep, it's like ring ring. Oh, bloody hell! Not only is it on X, it's on Threads as well. I'm dead. And I have to wake up again and going, that's twice it's happened now. So I'm a bit like I've slept, but my body's like
That's a bit of a mad one.
It's like getting hit in the head, like a pillow. Really, when you have something like that, where you're like, I'm all right, but I'd like to sit down.
You get hit in the head with a pillow.
As in, like, it doesn't hurt, but you're a bit
Oh, right,
discombobulated.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Jack, for
I
translating.
see. I could
And I
imagine
say
you,
dumb stuff like that rather than articulate stuff like I usually do.
I could imagine you pulling a stunt like that though, IRL, like just going, "Sorry, everybody, I've just passed away," and then
Sorry, I'm
just getting
dead.
out there, and then just like a couple weeks later, "How are you doing, pal? I'm back."
I kicked out at 2.
I think given Matthew's clout in the wrestling sphere, people would just be like, what's he like? They wouldn't be annoyed at him. They'd just be like, classic Maffew.
That is
Bought
weird.
you a murder.
Oh, I'd be sort of like, how did he die? Like a piano fell on him.
Your close personal friend MJF, "How are you doing, pal? Where are you? Not heard from you for a while."
Yeah, it's everybody. Lol.
He's been off this week. Was he hanging
He's been off his whatever.
Was he hanging out with you?
Oh,
What do you mean off is whatever? What's that in
I
reference
saw his
to?
promo on Dynamite.
yeah.
Ah,
What else could I mean?
How are you, Ross?
I'm all right.
Aye.
Nothing. Well, I got a hamster this week.
Oh my God.
A Syrian hamster, a big fat ginger lump, like me little brother. I can.
What's its name?
It's called Bandit, after
Bandit.
Bandit the cat from The Office.
Okay.
Save Bandit in the ceiling. Which is like you only walk around pets at home and you just
Yeah.
one catches your eye, and it was in this little box as they are with like two other ones. This big fat ginger lump. Well, like that's too small a space for this big fat ginger lump. So I brought him home. I brought her home. Sorry, Bandit is a lady, but we knew this after naming her.
How is she trusted you yet?
Don't know yet because
Okay.
you're meant to leave them alone. It was only on 2 days ago because we're sat here now, so we'll maybe try and pick her up tonight with a little bit of food and a little bit of hay.
Have you got one of them like
Hey.
balls that they can run around?
Oh
in?
yes.
Ah, good.
Got a swing, got a dangly wood thing, got a bridge.
So time out. When you say a swing, like a proper swing?
Yeah,
Like,
you chain it to the top of the cage.
Oh,
It's just
I
there,
didn't know
so,
that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yet
just-
to see if it hops on yet. It's her. Sorry, her. But it's hamster number 2 after Alan. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Alan.
R.I.P.
So we're back in the
Alan.
hamster game. Love the hamsters.
Alan and Bandit. Oh, that's lovely. When you say Syrian hamster, I don't know much about them. Is that
So you either get the dwarf ones,
Right.
tiny, or the Syrian ones, fat.
Right.
Oh,
I don't know if there's any more, but my only exposure to hamsters is pets at home, and that's the 2 breeds they have in there. So we've had the dwarf ones, that was a bit of an arsehole, so we're down the Syrian route now, because apparently they're quite nice compared to the dwarfs. As you would be, I guess.
Yeah.
that was interesting.
is
Thank
good.
you very much for
It's a
that.
good
No
update.
problem, aye.
God, cover everything on the show, don't we? It's probably
Bandit
on
in
the
the Cage segment starting next week, like Tubman in Japan, but hamster.
Oh, people are actually going to want that. Now.
Thank you for that. Yeah, please bring photos next time.
All right.
The big news this week, WWE executives received 7-figure bonuses following the merger with the UFC. It's been teased for months, but obviously it takes a while for the paperwork and stuff like that. Like I'm finding out with me bastard move to my flat, which is still happening.
Still
'cause
happening?
there's- Yeah, because apparently there's a big backlog. So I was like, yeah, just wait.
How long has it been?
It's like getting a ticket at Argos. Like, is it coming? Can't see me in the back.
How long has it been since you celebrated? I think it was on the podcast.
Like 2 months, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
I just remember sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy it was over. And I was just like,
Yeah.
where thing. But yeah, it's happened. September 12th was a big day for WWE as the company's merger with UFC to create TKO Group Holdings was officially completed and the new organization was floated on the New York Stock Exchange. And they're all there and gathered about and people shared old photos and videos of when the WWF went public. That's right. Yeah, thank you. Once it went live, it's not a website. Went live on the Wall Street, and they had the wrestling ring and had matches and stuff on Wall Street.
This time we just had Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That's all we needed, to be fair.
Yeah.
Him going like that.
He travelled via coffin.
Walking with his cane and his
Yeah, people said did you see
Glenn Jacobs was there.
did people see the cane, or is it just because when he does the ear you can
just
see
like
him?
so.
Right.
wall in his hand.
They should have taken that final stunner. That's what they did.
When he was just getting old, fine. But now he's trying to look young. It makes him look way older.
Well, no, he's had stuff done over the years,
Well,
sure.
yeah. But like,
Especially when he showed up in his 50s, like,
but it's
doing that. Like, we've all got relative like that.
but it's just like the jet black hair and the mustache. I don't know what's going on.
It's like even when I remember we used to get a Vince McMahon action figure in the late 90s and it had jet black hair, then you're like, wait there, that's not right. Turns out it is now.
Yeah.
They've aged well.
Yeah, so, people make the action figures are like, that makes our job way easier. Thank you, mate. So yeah, it's finally happened. So this was the first week ever. Yeah, it must be that the McMahons haven't been in charge.
Wow.
The last Raw, yeah. But it was
That's Raw, but the TV hasn't been ever without a McMahon in charge. I'm thinking about it. Unless I'm misremembering something completely obvious.
I guess Dick Thingy had his little saying stuff in the 80s, didn't he? What's he called? I've just got Dick My Chinko in my head, which is Ben Potter. Hello, Ben, if you're listening. Up the mountains.
Ben.
Up the mountains, Ben.
Starfield sucks.
Well, Triple H fired him once. I love you, Paul.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Maven was in charge of Raw once, back in 2004.
That's right.
What a YouTube channel, by the way.
I was just going to say, he's great, isn't he?
I've
knows
not
what
watched
he's
it
doing.
yet,
I've
but
seen
I've seen the titles and thought, that sounds intriguing, but I've never got around to watching them.
He knows how to play the game already, which is really impressive. But it's good because there's one that says which wrestlers I liked and which ones were dicks, and he looks at everyone's got the photos and goes at every one of them. It's like, he's just happy to see them. I remember him, John Cena.
I watched another Stevie Richards one. He didn't fat shame anyone this time, but he was breaking down the super kick that ended Bret Hart's career, or the Goldberg, like the thrust kick. And it's just a lot of him like replaying it in slow motion and wincing and going, that's terrible. That's so bad. It's just him going, that's really a bad impact. And like, yeah, well, we know. Like, we know
That's a bad miss.
Yeah. Bret still takes a bump.
Yeah. Well,
He's just that damn good that he just made concussion.
he couldn't not take a bump.
say,
Just physics alone pushed him to the floor.
But I thought in my head he like crumples, but no, he does like a proper like the carpet being pulled, like the proper wrestling bump. And I was like, wow, he's all right. He's not bad at the
So
wrestling.
Stevie wasn't like, well, if Bret was in better shape.
No, he wasn't like that.
We need to get a video of Bret Hart watching that. What a video that would be.
No, it really messed him up. Like if you read his autobiography.
Or watching Stevie
doesn't-
Richards react to it, you mean? Or,
Brett watching Stevie react to it and critique the spot, just to see what Brett would
Oh,
say.
right.
Yeah.
Brett messaging Stevie's last going, are you free?
Well, I was about to say I was like when I said it messed him up. If you read his autobiography, he doesn't sleep with anyone for ages after that, about 3 days.
The longest he's been for years.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done TKO, our brand new overlords. No idea how it's going to affect anything just yet, but it's fascinating, the behind the scenes stuff anyway.
Well, they're still staying separate. That was the initial reports a little while ago,
Staying
wasn't it?
separate,
So,
that's right.
But apparently there's going to be big layoffs in terms of not like wrestlers, but in terms of company employees.
That's always crap.
Well, they've been saying that for a while, and it has been a while since WWE has had any layoffs. So you're like, it's coming, right?
Yeah,
but we have said that for about a year now. So it's
One of your
weird.
big wigs who got a big bonus has been let go, I saw.
Oh, really?
The 5 million man. I
Oh
forgot
my
his name.
god! I saw Kevin Dunn got like 7 million.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, Frank Riddick III.
Yeah.
£5 million
right.
quid now. Sod off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be like,
Severance pay, I
yes,
guess.
I will leave. Thank you, with my millions.
Adam.
Oh, did you see? Oh my god, Adam's been doing these call-ins on his Twitch streams.
Oh God, no! Has he
And-
really?
Yeah. He just,
Oh.
but it's not wrestling related. It's just he picks a topic and then goes like, "Tell me what's like the hill you're willing to die on," that sort of stuff. And someone rang him and went, "So yeah, I missed what the prompt was when I tuned in. I missed what the actual initial question was, but the guy like rings and goes like, "Hi Adam, yeah. So when I was like graduating uni, they sent me on this course to like a work experience kind of thing, like a sales team. But it turned out to actually be like a bit of a sort of a dodgy like sales company, which just went around. I was basically going around door to door selling milk, and Adam went, the Modern Milkman. Have you heard of the Modern Milkman, by the way?
Is that when you like a subscription?
Yeah, they deliver like a bottle.
Oh
to
no,
you.
he talks about. Yeah, he's told me about it. Yeah.
So Adam goes like, it is, and the guy goes, yeah, it is the Modern Milkman actually. And Adam goes, oh, I'm on it. Like I'm subscribed to the Modern Milkman. And the guy goes, right, well. And Adam's like, what dirty secret can you tell me about the Modern Milkman? And the bloke goes, well, it's just that, you know how when they deliver it in glass bottles like the old days? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, that's a deliberate ploy. And we're told to specifically target older, conservative. And Adam's face just dropped.
Yes, we got him in 4K, finally.
And then he says older, conservative women. But by that point, the chat already like tore into shit. It's really funny. Really good. Really good viewing.
God, was Pachi all right? He didn't cry in his rose? Or...
No, but you just saw him kind of die behind his eyes.
God. Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Starting off strong this week. Samantha Irvin on X claims that WWE turned down... What? That's horribly written. Aiden, you should have proofread that before I copy-pasted it. She got mad on Twitter, or X, whatever, about people saying, hang on, they clearly turned down Dom's mic on Raw when he first started talking. And she says, quote, 1 week the crowd isn't reacting enough. The next week we get the loudest reactions ever. And we mad at production. You know, y'all could just ask me instead of looking like bona fide haters. Just let me know. She said, Norfolk, Virginia easily bought the loudest Dom boos to date. Hilariously loud. This is exactly what it sounded like in the house. And y'all are the most nitpicky era of fans ever. Listening to the audio back, this is what it was like last night. I know you don't want to believe it, but it really was. You couldn't hear a damn thing he said. And every time he spoke, the crowd was the loudest I ever heard. I don't care about piped-in noise, lowered mics, or anything to do with production except the fact that they work their asses off to make split-second decisions to ensure the house audience is entertained and experiences as much as possible. Thank you, though. Yeah, Dom's mic was clearly turned down
a bit
at the start.
Okay.
Because he was like, whoa. I mean, obviously the crowd were booing loud and everything else, but they did. He was quiet.
It's just funny that, the WWF back in the day used to laugh at WCW for piping in Goldberg chants, didn't they? So I think that's where people's... arses get a bit red. If that's not the right saying, is it? You know what I mean, though. That's where they get up a height.
Right, yeah.
Just because, now they're doing the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
The hypocrites.
That's right. They put the Tory in the milk.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle isn't on Raw right now. It may be related to his recent airport incident, or it may not be. The news came out about him speaking about his assault that he had. And if anyone knows what that looks like, it's Matt Riddle. And... They then said on the news that, no, it wasn't anything to do with that. It's due to an illness.
Yeah, it's all very strange.
Yeah, but he was mentioned on Raw.
Okay.
But it was like, yeah, we're leaving this one alone.
Yeah,
he's here, but not here. Show up and move on.
He's an interesting one in the face of the merge. Like anything, all that aside, which obviously you can't just put it one side, but just for the topic of this conversation, just with the merger and his history with the other half of it, that's an interesting one to begin with.
Yeah.
This makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, what's that story about? Road Dogg was let go by WWF in 01. He went, well, I'll just go see my friends in the WCW. Jeff Jarrett's there. He'll go to bat for me. And he opens the door and there's Shane McMahon. Oh, never mind. All right. I'm sure that's like hey, Dana White. Oh,
yeah, okay. That is interesting.
Fancy a dry.
Just the grandpa Sims. And then finally, because there's news to talk about, but we'll get out the way. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff happening. Oh, no, not finally. Santana Ortiz's social media exchange, not part of a storyline, apparently, because they are together, or they weren't together last time we saw them on TV at AEW All In. They were going on it. So, what happened? Santana announced he was going to be a singles talent moving forward. Oh, they officially disbanded on AEW Collision. Obviously, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
When?
That's what it says here, mate. Wait, did they? Oh no, they did a video. He did a video package for just one of them, Santana.
That's how it started.
Yeah. What a way to find out years of having your back meant nothing. Good luck without your crutch. Just remember, it helped you walk for the last 14 plus years.
That's Ortiz.
Hope your legs are good, says Ortiz.
Okay.
Thank you for being honest for once, but you can't say it to my face. You know you still can, right? And says, first thing you said to me in 14 months, says Santana. No text, no call. Nope. I hope your recovery has gone well, but of course, paint me to be the bad guy like you've always done. Guess you forgot about our last conversation about this. Either way, I'm happy. I hope and pray the same for you.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So we think then that it's pointless to speculate because it's probably all kinds of stuff that we don't know about and real life stuff. But it seems like it's Santana who's wanted to be a single star and Ortiz has gone, I don't know if that's probably not just it, but like, they were such a good tag team.
Yeah, it didn't look right when they came back though for the Wembley show, did it? Because Mike Santana came back with his new name and new gear, completely different to Ortiz, and they wouldn't stand next to each other.
Yes, they weren't. I don't think they interacted with each other
They did
once.
that ambush on the faces, but from opposite.
Yes.
It was a pincer movement. It was really weird. Yeah.
It's a great tactical move to be fair.
It is. Yeah, I couldn't fault them.
They were proud and powerful of that.
Yeah.
And then finally, William Regal continues his campaign against Clinton Baptiste.
What, from Phoenix?
Right,
Night?
yes.
Thinking of a word.
William Regal is a man you don't want to get on the wrong side of, with the former Blackpool Combat Club mentor known for being one of the toughest wrestlers of a generation. One person who has gotten on Regal's bad side is Clinton Baptiste, with the controversial sidekick having drawn Regal's ire. Regal once again called Baptiste out on Twitter using some choice language. Quote, "The only real psychic in the world is Ramon Tamine. May not be watching you, but I always am, Baptiste. Time is not on your side, you charlatan custard foot toss pot." And he says that he goes back at his long storied career in Banana Grove and the Phoenix Club.
It's hard to. Fair play to Regal. Everyone wants to know, like, did CM Punk confront you? What happened with the talk?
Yeah.
Were you accused of being Triple H's stooge? And he's feuding with Clinton Baptiste,
Right.
a character from a sitcom of the 2000s on Twitter.
Next could be beefing with Garth Marenghi.
Right, yeah.
Brian Butterfield,
Richard
all the greats.
Richard Iowade, but it's all kicked off about him today.
Oh, not
God,
him.
really?
What's
I've
he
just
done?
sat down.
It's not. He's not like assaulted anyone or anything. He wrote a positive review of Graham Linehan's book, and everyone's like, Richard.
Dead to me.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Well, that was the news. No CM Punk mention. Yay!
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
The Hall of Fame segment. And condescending order from last week, with 10% of the votes, AEW All Out 2023.
Disgrace, isn't it? Really? It's a disgrace, isn't it?
Bloody
Really?
hell.
What's the crack with that?
They've gone down in the reviews like the audience attendance.
It was a fantastic show.
Dog Meltzer, 29%. Bastard.
Dog Meltzer.
Dog Meltzer.
Meltzer's dog.
Dave's
Meltzer's
dog, yeah.
dog. He gets all the news.
Okay.
He's the loyal news hound. 60%, of course. What else on a podcast with Tom and Ross talking bollocks for 4 hours? The podcast table, which threatened to give out on multiple times.
Oh.
It's not threatening to give out. I'm sitting here now, fine. Myself and Jack, when we're on the podcast, the table never goes like that.
Oh,
does
right.
it?
Okay.
You're right,
Because
hasn't it?
Tom's
One
there
time.
going, the table was like the bloody Titanic, wasn't it, last week?
So was the table?
You're right, that's what I'm like. What does Tom do differently to Jack? It's like,
I've been meaning the entire time today to prove a point. It's Tom and his reckless table.
You're
manners.
right.
Why did the
You're
table
right,
get
you're right.
nominated?
Because it kept going.
Oh, right,
No, it
just-
does.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a weird design.
yeah,
Right.
because Tom realized, if I do anything, it's gonna move. So I'll have to just keep on doing that thing.
Every 20 minutes. We saw the game, didn't we? He just kept going like that, so I had to mention the table once again.
So it's one.
Yes, it has.
Bloody hell.
Wow,
Boy,
well
worked.
done, podcast table.
You've all been got. Sheep.
Like all the AEW news, it's all a work. Well done, podcast table man. What is your thing for this week?
I'll be Jack taking Tom's place, I guess.
Oh, was it Tom who did
Oh, it was Tom who did it.
That wasn't
I'm
me, yeah.
sorry.
So
He's scandalous as
it's
Tom.
mine involves something that happened to the England women's rugby team during the last Women's Rugby World Cup, so a couple of years ago now. But the reason that I saw it floating around again, it seemed to have re-emerged because it's currently the Men's Rugby World Cup, right? It's just they're being interviewed on tour. These three England players, they're interviewing each other. They're all sat there with a microphone. There's an audio element, don't worry, and they're saying like, what are you going to miss most? What are you going to do first when you get back home? Like when we get back to England, we're all feeling a bit homesick out here at the World Cup. What are you going to do when you get back home? And this is what she says.
Okay.
We are definitely now on the home straight, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
What are you most excited to do when you get home?
Have a Wagamama's.
And they're all like, oh my God. It's just a slight emphasis on the word. Should have a Wagamama's.
What you do, Professor?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I can't show the video obviously because it's not our footage, but the other two go like, "Oh, see the surprise." Yeah,
I try to think like, how can we? That's a nice pick, but are we going to put? Well, your vote to the Hall of Fame this week. Having a wank.
having a wagon. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah.
If we do put
It's
having
a
a
tough
wank,
one.
it's going to win.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's not going to vote for that? I hate that. Yeah, the big Quaker demographic got going. I'm not going to appreciate
There's a
that.
little Peter Kay joke. Man goes to the doctors because there's something wrong with his private parts, and the doctor says, "Can I ask you a personal question? Do you like?" And he goes, "Yeah, sometimes." And he goes, "Magic, isn't it?"
That's right. That was nice. Well, I'm second because Dog Meltzer. My pick is me and Tom did a little watch along before this, which is the longest cardio in all of bloody podcasting.
Was the Q mentioned this week?
The Q?
The Q at Wembley? The big revelation from last week's podcast?
What was that?
Maffew's gonna...
Right, I'm with you.
Well, before Wembley, Maffew made the plan on the Smackdown review to F and S his way around Wembley.
Oh, aye.
And apparently he got approached by someone looking for an F and an S.
Wait, I
Some
think-
guy
I
who
think
has
you-
not. I've said this in a few of the podcasts, and he hasn't responded yet. But I forgot because obviously I do this. I do the podcast with Tom, and I do this, and then I go home and have a Wagamamas. So I'm a bit discombobulated. So I say all this dumb stuff, and you just don't think twice about it. So it's really weird when someone comes up to you at Wembley, and you're on the streets up Wembley Way, and everyone's like, "Oh, good, Maffew. Oh, thank you very much for the podcast." And someone goes, "So when's all this wanking and stuff?"
Right.
I went, "Huh?" He went, on the podcast. I went, "Oh." And he kind of expectant, and then I'm like, yeah. Just kidding. Unless, like just what we're right here in the Wembley Way. All right, fine.
Someone came up to me. It was after I'd done What Happened At. So after we'd finished it, I just gave the camera and the mic to Pierce, and he ran off to do the real work and edit it together. And I was just saying hi to everybody who'd stuck around. And everyone's asking, like, "Oh, what was your favourite match? Have you had a good weekend?" All wrestling-related stuff. And one guy goes, "You and Owen need to sort out your tactics on Football Manager." Or sort out the staff. He's like, "You need to hire better coaches on Football Manager." Like, thank you, mate. Well, you did, but you do get that initial, like, what? And then you realise.
Yeah.
How did it... No, I'm not going to ask how.
I know, there's lots of people there. It was quite a mouthful. So, yeah, to nothing. No, what? My Hall of Fame this week, believe it or not. It's the man I'll call Mr. Number 9.
It'll be around a week in about a year's time where you're like, "Remember now, pal." He finally came through. No.
I'll never forget his final words to me. He said, "Less teeth." My pick for the Hall of Fame this week, long story short, is been watching the Rumble 2002, the watch along, where me and Tom just talk bollocks and watch it with you. I guess if you're lonely, want to hear two men talk about stuff and read Power Slam magazine and see how negative it was at the time. And I remembered that I associate Rumble 02. It's not Jericho Rock. It's not, what else? I'm trying to think. Mr. Perfect coming back. It's the spot where the Hurricane makes his grand entrance after Steve Austin has just decked everybody, and then Triple H making his return after tearing his you-know-what, and
his quad.
Dull down. It was actually his quad, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was quad, yeah.
In my head, I'm like, no, that's Kevin Nash. The only man to have ever torn his quad. Yes, it is his quad. And the double down, and then Hurricane comes out and does his poses and stuff, and the crowd like, "Oh, Hurricane, he's got this." Hurricane goes to chokeslam, Triple H. Steve Austin gets up, goes to the chokeslam, Steve Austin, and he's like, "It's going to happen, right?" And they both give him this look like, "No, it's not," and eject him. I still watch that moment and think, come on, Hurricane, you got this. What if he chokes on them both?
Oh, imagine.
They get up instantly and go, no, that didn't hurt, but that would
yeah.
have been fine. But
He really does have super strength.
yeah, like he did it. Like, oh, then 2 seconds they get up. Like, no, you're out. But I just love that moment.
Yeah.
It really
It's
emphasizes that anything can happen at the Rumble. This low card dude can take on this upper card dude. And that when there really was tears on
Is
the
it
Rumble.
That Rumble, or is it, no, maybe 2001, where Austin's on his own in the ring and then Scotty's the next one out and he's like, he's dancing nervously down
That's
to the ring.
01.
Ah,
Because
right,
in
okay.
02, Maven, star of YouTube,
yes.
kicks Undertaker out.
Yes.
And then Undertaker just batters him for 5 minutes. Scotty comes out and he's banging it.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, it's not Austin, it's
I forgot about this
Taker,
moment
yeah.
because again, we literally just watched it. Undertaker punches him and knocks him down and his music stops and he punches him.
Yeah, I've mixed up I think just Austin just doing all that. And
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Oh, 2002 is a good Rumble.
It is.
Mr. Perfect
Mr.
goes
Perfect
far,
gets
doesn't he?
one of the biggest pops of the night.
The Mr. Perfect pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's right in at the end, isn't he?
Yeah. And all the commentators like, wow, he looks great. He looks so good. He's definitely not going to last 4 months before we have to get rid of him. So, So that is the Hurricane Helms spot from Royal Rumble 2002.
It's a good pick. He was the first wrestler who made me realize I'm a very small man. Because I had that in my head, that spot. Because Triple H and Austin, especially Triple H, but Austin as well, they're kind of towering over him.
Yeah.
And then he was next to our table at WrestleCon 2016 in Dallas. And, well, he was comfortably taller than me and Ross. And I was just like, this is an awful...
And he's a cruiserweight.
And he was ripped and in fantastic shape and handsome. And I was just like, you were meant to be a little jobber, man. What happened? Yeah. American wrestlers, especially back then, huge.
Yeah. And he went, you're from the Cultaholic? And he goes, yeah.
He
goes,
didn't.
You got to suck me off. He went, no, that's the other one. He went, oh, sorry.
My goodness. Oh, right, you.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
yeah. I was just like, why have you turned Hurricane into some kind of...
You're from the Suckaholic?
Oh, no.
Coming soon to OnlyFans.
Yeah. Turns out that this merger gets us, but Ross, what have you got for us? Follow that.
I'm going to have to go for a thing that's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. I don't know exactly when it happened, but Ospreay's tattoo.
I wondered who was going to bring it up.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Do we have a picture of this, Joel?
Joel, if you wouldn't mind, just type in
People who
Will
watch the
Ospreay
video
tattoo.
version of this podcast.
So everyone knows the attendance for All In, was announced as 81,035, I think it was, to be precise.
I'll take that one number.
Something like that. You might have to go.
Will Spray. Will Spray affect my tattoo?
It's a fair question.
So it was, we had the attendance announced, the record breaking, like biggest crowd ever, all that sort of stuff. And Ospreay, to commemorate his massive match against Chris Jericho, a big win at the National Stadium, gets this tattoo on the back of his arm, which has the attendance there, 81,035 at the bottom of it. And then the whatever council of wherever London, Wembley is in London.
Brent.
The Brent Council has announced the actual like amount of bodies that went through the turnstiles, which I guess that maybe 81,000 was the paid attendance, and the 71 is what actually was in the stadium. Because we all said, didn't we? It didn't look as full as we thought it was going to say. Right, we thought it would.
Yes.
So yeah, the actual, the amount of people through the turnstiles was announced as 71,000 or something like that. And Ospreay's tattoo is now wrong in a way.
Yeah.
Apparently he's deleted
That was a funny video.
the
I
tweet
thought
or
he
the
should have
video,
kept that
but-
up. He's laughing at himself, yeah.
My mum hates tattoos. I'm going to got one. It's bloody wrong.
He should have left that up.
Yeah, the next video of us is his mum hitting him with a newspaper. So I told this is why I hate tattoos.
He just didn't need that bit at the bottom.
Yeah. It's an easy cover.
You can get that off, yeah. Just underline it.
Oh, so the Roman numerals, are they?
That's a clock, and it's like the time and the coordinates, and it's the coordinates of the stadium.
That'll be the year, isn't it?
what,
MMX.
in case he
It's
forgets
the-
where it is?
That'll be
Yeah,
the year
yeah.
and the month, the MMXX.
Yeah. There's also. I
Hello,
think-
Uber.
I think
I'm
that-
at MMXX.
I think there's also somewhere the time the match started. It's like 8:27 or whatever. Yeah, but the wrong bit is the attendance.
You know what would have been really funny if you got that tattoo and then Meltzer just gave it like this scathing review. The worst match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, stops giving him. From then on, it's ruined. Stops giving him 5-star matches.
Ospreay's digressed so bad.
Meltzer was never going to not give Ospreay versus Jericho his two.
As soon as it was
lads.
announced, he got the all right,
Yeah.
the stamp
Although
of 5 stars
I think
ready.
he gave
but-
more to FTR and the Bucks though. It's the Bucks.
Well, I mean,
That's
it's
his other boys, isn't it? Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
FTR though. But yeah,
lovely boys.
that match was better than FTR and the Bucks though. IMO.
Ooh.
I liked it when I watched it live, but I watched it back and I just realized I don't like the Bucks anywhere near as much as I used to now.
It's hard when they're next to FTR, who are like the
Yeah,
coolest and best
FTR
tag
who
team.
do wrestle tag matches with the tag and in and out for 5 seconds, and the Young Bucks who were like, lol. The refs aren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
We pay them. Anyway, so we're going off the topic there, but that was so Ospreay's bad tattoo.
Well, it's a tattoo. I wouldn't say it's a bad one. It's just not quite right.
Okay.
So this is interesting because I think I remember when Tony Khan was asked on one presser, so, you sold this many tickets. All right, well, will you break it down or release the numbers sold and everything else like that? And Tony Khan's response was something on the lines of, would you ask the WWE this? To which a lot of people online went, ugh. But it's like, wait, people do that for WWE.
Yeah.
And also, did you notice on Raw, we're on the topic I was going to bring up, but I'll bring up now, when Mr. Xavier Woods was talking to Drew and talking like, Kofi this, Kofi that, when Kofi beat Daniel Bryan in front of 82,000 fans, which That's not right. On Wikipedia it says 70 to 80, but like
It was a very specific number.
Yeah, it was just a slightly bit more than 81,000. So
I mean, who cares really?
it's only funny when someone says it is and it isn't.
But now
if
it's
you say it and you got it, it's like, all right, fair, no one would care. But
Full on battle on X now, isn't it?
It's become the most boring wrestling discourse at the minute. Is the attendance war?
what, even more boring than CM Punk?
Yes.
You got CM Punk, you got
Yeah.
demographics below, and then
Yeah.
all the way at the bottom's attendance.
Yeah. What's the reason you're not watching the NWA?
Yeah. Well,
Wow, those are 3 dodgy picks I ever saw. Jax is
How are we going to list this?
having a wanker mamas.
I'm not going to say
No, wanker mamas sounds even worse. No,
having a Wagamama's. I don't know.
so we don't get
We'll
sued.
think of something.
Hurricane Helms wanking off Austin and McMahon and Ross.
Triple H.
You've just made up a random sentence.
Yeah,
there,
Yeah, I don't know. We've got to get this is what I'm against, having a wank. Hurricane Helms nearly chokeslamming Austin and Triple H, and Ross's is
Will Ospreay's tattoo.
Will
Yeah.
Ospreay's tattoo.
That's all we'll put.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Yep. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. Happy voting.
This is This Week in the Wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. SmackDown. No Reigns, no Ripley. More like Friday night lockdown. Oh, that's good, that. Yeah. Charlotte Flair and Shotzi, I already hate it, team up to beat Damage Katal after Asuka distracts the heels by stealing Io Sky's belt at ringside. Asuka and Io have stared down afterwards. Backstage, Io confirms that she'll happily give Asuka a title shot. That was nice, Bill.
Yeah. I thought the match was a little bit naff, but I guess that was because the only thing people are going to talk about is Brock Lesnar explained to us years ago with Seth Rollins at Battleground 2015. Is because they'll just be talking about Asuka and a slightly updated look and her now new challenge for the title.
At least it's getting us towards the match. Charlotte and Shotzi's are weird. Charlotte as a face is still weird. I don't like it.
I don't know what she is.
She's a face. She's a face who just happens to be better than everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a nice double knee from Io while Charlotte was whopping the figure 8 on Bailey, which was gnarly, as was Io's shoot Hurricane Run off the top rope. That's about it for me notes. I've got Shotzi making a hot tag more dramatic than it had to be by dropping to her knees randomly. What a worker. Fantastic analysis. Can Errol Helwani say that? No, he can't. WrestleMania 4. Knobhead.
It's got to be a joke, right? Got to be.
No, it was a
like-
tournament. You looked at.
Yeah, ooh, tournament. Backstage, Jimmy Uso still thinks he's in the bloodline.
I
but
hate this now.
Heyman tells him, what's up, to Roman Reigns, who isn't here tonight, as you've said. Heyman walks off and mocks AJ Styles, who threatens him, only for Jimmy to rush hour and take care of him. Heyman makes a call to Roman.
Call Roman Reigns. It's great when he does that.
Yeah.
So,
But
nobody told Jimmy Uso he was out the bloodline. So he's heard Solo say last week that they'll decide when he's out the bloodline. So now he's back in the bloodline, even though he's done several things now to display he's out the bloodline. And now Paul Heyman left him hanging as well for a fist bump, by the way, in this segment, which wasn't the best thing to do. That tells me mixed signals as well. So either Jimmy and Paul are in cahoots, because if you go back to the SummerSlam turn where Jimmy left the bloodline, definitely left the bloodline. Definitely. Heyman didn't look shocked. I remember making that point at the time. So there's potential that Jimmy and Paul are working together, which again wouldn't make much sense. But this was bollocks.
Well, he's not. They tried to make it sound like he was like, there's a difference between being in the bloodline and in. And he kept like doing like a emphasis on in the bloodline. But I'm not buying it.
Nah.
I think they've floundered a bit.
yeah.
With
I
what
hate
they
to
do
say it
next.
because it don't sound too negative. It's not one of these, what have you done for me lately? It's been an amazing run, but this is a low point.
Yeah.
But we said that before, when Cody didn't beat him at WrestleMania. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, fine. So I'm interested to see if it does recover. But right now, whatever.
But you can have an amazing Wagamama. And if you
As
don't
we've heard that,
finish
yes.
the Wagamama at the right time,
Oh my
it
God.
turns into a horrible Wagamama. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
It's a horrible Wagamama now.
Okay.
we're in like hour 3 of a Wagamama that will just...
3 hours of a
Hour three.
Wagamama.
It's like a pepperami stick at this point, this Wagamama.
We could have ended it at the half hour. Even that's maybe a stretch. We could have ended at the
but
15
thank
minute
you, Ross.
Wagamama.
Yeah, the graffiti on the Wembley toilets wasn't misleading. LA Knight arrives and cuts a promo on The Miz, as well as Kevin Nash getting a stray round. Bit of collateral damage there.
If I was a complete moron, I'd say, look at the adjective. play.
But I'm not a complete moron or a butthead.
In all fairness, Kevin Nash started this by saying
He
he was
did.
just a rip-off of the Attitude Era, whatever he said.
This is why I love Kevin Nash, because he gets wrestling so much. It's all about the money and all about the business, blah, blah, blah. And he knows when something, is this real? Or if it's not real, whatever. I'll make it work. I'll make money off of it.
Headlines.
Which he said about other things he's been talking about with what's his name? Ricky Morton and stuff like that. We had that dodgy indie and all the other stuff. There's clips of him freely on his magnificent podcast where it's so weird. You do follow that on YouTube because obviously
His
the breakout in a little
podcast,
bit. Yeah. So you'll get like the big old podcast and there's bits broken up. So it's like Kevin Nash on
America's
Wrestling
gun
Razor
policy.
Yeah. Kevin Nash on Noam Chomsky. What the hell? So, yeah, there are plenty of clips, easy to find, of him trashing LA Knight and just saying he's a rip-off The Rock, he does this and this. And he goes, I've got nothing personal against the dude, but he just said, like, all he was missing is if you smell and all this stuff. So he has been saying stuff about him. But then he's gone back and gone, I wouldn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
Like, you little... It's like, here's a clip of me saying something nice about him, here's a clip of him saying something negative about him. Either way, I'm going to be winning. And yeah, so he gave it back to him. Crowd didn't react at all, so it's just funny because
It's a niche one.
It is a bit niche,
Yeah, maybe.
For the kids who are there in
Yeah,
the arena.
right?
They're not going to get, are they? Maybe. I don't know.
He's interrupted by Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, which is like if you select the same character in a fighting game, who claim to be the only undefeated tag team on the roster. They argue back and forth, leading to a match between Knight and Theory. Despite interference from Grayson, Knight manages to win.
Yeah, there was a hell of a power slam by LA Knight into a reversal thingy. That's what I've written down in my notes, so it must have happened. And there was a shoot BFT for the win. There was nice to see Waller's works, like getting involved, slightly distracting Theory in the build of the finish. But it's just, Waller's a lot better than Theory at what they are doing currently.
Yeah.
Because they're both kind of doing the same thing, aren't they? Like brash, cocky,
Right.
younger man.
Yeah, I can't work out if they've paired them up to help Theory because he kind of needs a bit of a boost, or whether it's to elevate Waller. Because if it's the latter, well, Waller doesn't need that.
No.
He doesn't need it at all.
Have you seen the Suicide Squad, Don Cena?
No.
There's the meme going around where it's
Joel will have.
Cena.
Joel has.
Yeah, Cena around his elbow, and he describes Cena's powers, and he just goes, he does everything I do. And he goes, yeah, but better.
Okay.
That's just these two.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm not watching the match and going, yeah, what are they doing with you?
Like, it was-
Can they do anything with them?
Yeah, even Waller on commentary he was given more than what Theory normally does when he's in the same position. So it's-
Great.
Yeah, which is the bare minimum.
Jim
to
Ross
begin
does
with.
more than that.
Imagine Jim Ross with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory's gimmick.
Wow, what a great move. My chair hurts.
He did a weird retweet the other day.
Oh my God.
Was he horny on main again? No. Well,
Yeah, about Rebel or Reba.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, did you see it?
he puts
Yeah.
the boomer in Boomer
was
sooner.
nice.
That
There's
man.
a baseball.
I know they're both from Oklahoma and that, but
Oh, yeah.
There's a baseball lady as well. He keeps retweeting. I had a mutiny the other day because I logged on X twice early in the week, and both times it was Jim Ross retweeting the same. I don't know what her account is, but it's just this scantily clad middle-aged lady. I'm like, I don't want to bloody see this, Jim.
yeah.
It's not time for Wagamamas yet.
The Rebel one was just, it was like a picture of her in a bikini, but like something, not wearing like lingerie or a bikini, I can't remember.
Right.
But she's facing the other way, arse out, and Jim just goes, Boomer Sooner! and then the smiling cowboy hat emoji was just
Because it's him.
yeah.
That should be the unhappy cowboy emoji. I love you, Jim. You've literally turned into Bruce Pritchard's impression of you.
Hey, Shy Ben's getting out, as we say up here in Newcastle upon Tyne.
Yes, they do. Backstage, AJ Styles says he'll beat Jimmy Uso tonight. Elsewhere, Paul Heyman is asking Adam Pearce, who is being traded from Raw to SmackDown. Pearce, of course, doesn't know because he's useless. LA Knight barges in, wanting a rematch with The Miz. Heyman introduces himself to Knight and says he's a big fan, but warns him to knock next time. Knight gets in his face and he leaves. Ooh,
It's a tagline for a feud with Roman Reigns.
good.
Knock first. Who knocked first? LA Knight did. That's
Brendan
who
Walker.
did.
Oh, sorry.
This traded to SmackDown thingy could be linked to a big slice of news we haven't brought up on the podcast yet. And
That's right. Gable Stevenson's been removed from the roster.
Jade Cargill is apparently finishing up with the AEW and going to the WWE.
Also news this week, Jade Cargill returns to AEW TV.
Yeah. But I'm assuming she'll lose that title match.
Because they brought it
You'd
forward
think
to
so,
Rampage,
right?
haven't they? Because I assumed they were going to do the build for either Wrestle Dream or
Grand Slam or whatever.
But yeah, it's going to happen on Rampage on Friday, and apparently she's finishing up and going across the
I
borders.
hope not, because really,
She
after
is
all
WWE,
that,
though. If you look at what she brings to the table,
Yeah.
she is more main roster WWE than AEW, I'd say.
I'd say so because do we know how to treat the superstars like superstars? Absolutely. Jade's going to make enough money to live in a gold house
I
after
think
this.
that AEW did do a good job of presenting her for a while, though.
Yeah, for a while, and then it was like, all right, so what's your plan? Just keep on doing that.
Keep on doing
Yeah.
it.
And I got sick of seeing her. And like, oh no,
It's too
oh no,
predictable, wasn't
another
it?
match where she wins really dominantly and looks great and stunning. Oh, I'm bored of this.
Gorgeous, as I was saying.
Yes, exact gorgeous.
I've got
an
a
offensive
scoop.
accent.
I've got a scoop as well. Charlotte Flair hasn't slept since this news broke because she's basically just Charlotte, isn't she? But better.
Oh, no.
Maybe not wrestling.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just trying
she's,
to find people.
she's a powerhouse. Charlotte's a technical all-rounder.
Charlotte's everything.
Yeah.
You can just imagine it though. Jade Cargill comes in, steamrollers through the roster, then gets to Charlotte Flair, and then we see the title drop and shenanigans come back up, just so Charlotte can stay on top, brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were ready for Asuka. Oh. Still a missed opportunity, that one.
Yeah.
That was a joke, by the way. I don't think Jade's a better wrestler than Charlotte because I know you can't
I
joke
do.
on podcasts anymore, can you?
No, I'll say it. I'll be the man to say it. Jade's better than Charlotte. Well done, Puppet Jack. My literal sock puppet doing that. Oh. Wait. The Judgment Day arrive, minus Rhea Ripley, who's wrestling in India. That was the only thing we saw. I think the only newsworthy thing to come out was it Walter and Shanky?
Aye.
Walter. Gunther and Shanky going at it? Yeah.
Aye, it was. Yes, it was.
Crowd going
It
wild.
was like all Japan.
Yeah. Oh, so such a heartwarming clip to see it happen.
For some reason, Deadlock PW, or Deadlock, their podcast they do, have been doing this thing where they keep doing Johnny Ace impressions, but like it's him trying to deal with stuff backstage in WWE with whatever show they're watching on that episode. But he just keeps getting distracted and talking about like Mrs. Baba would never book you in a Wrestle Carnival, just all Japan stuff. And it just reminds you that he did used to be like a tag team.
It doesn't seem real, does it?
No,
and the
it's
fact
weird.
that, as I've probably said in the podcast many times, then apparently he was Mrs. Baba's favorite.
Really?
We had a gnarly surfboard, didn't he? Or a skateboard or something?
In all Japan. Oh my God, he's beating Kabashi with the surfboard. The very serious wrestling promotion, All Japan Pro Wrestling. They brag about their accomplishments and say they're taking over from the bloodline, but are interrupted by the Brawling Brutes. Ridge the Fridge warns Balor that he should be wary of Butch. Balor laughs at this, but Butch breaks his fingers.
He's like, don't you? That's a silly maneuver, isn't it?
Rich also said, "I've made a habit of breaking fellas like you," which I thought was a weird line for.
Oh,
I mean,
It's not real,
no.
but it is.
hey, I'm the popular good guy. Remember I injured all those people? It's like, oh, Jesus, no. Oh.
Strange line.
This leads to a tag match, which the Judgment Day win. Haha. Afterwards, the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley arrive for a stare down. Bobby says it won't be the JD replacing the Bloodline. It'll be himself and the Street Profits. They are not heels. They are cool,
Now they're
good guys.
Yeah, or maybe they always were.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still believe the intention was to make them heels because they took the theme away that week, didn't they? Like they were going to give them a new one, but then they've just gone back to being the Streety Peas with
Yeah.
Bob.
I think maybe they also realised, wait, Judgment Day and the Bloodline, we can't have another
I honestly
bunch of
think
guys who are evil. We need more good ones.
Especially with who returned on Raw and the feud that set up. Triple H just too many heels. He just loves having heels. No, there's not many faces.
Imperium as well.
Even the faces like Rollins and that aren't really great guys.
He said on Raw, didn't he? I'm an arsehole.
Yeah.
But I'm a fighting arsehole.
Yeah.
That means it's okay.
Oh my god.
I've been in that pub.
I'm fighting off.
Hey, the big news though, watching backstage during this match, making their big return to television, pretty deadly. Yes, boys.
Yes, that was a return, hasn't it? Yes, I forgot one of them was injured.
Yeah. I'm glad they're back.
Did you like? I forgot one of them was injured.
I am struggling to read today, so I thought I'd say it like that.
I did find it funny as well on commentary. They gave Ridge the blame for Elton's injury, which in reality on X.com, Ridge had to say, "No, it didn't happen here. It wasn't my fault, that one.
Oh, fair
It
enough.
happened a bit earlier. It wasn't my
the
fault."
other ones that were accidental injuries were my fault. Whatever. The Good Brothers and Mia Yim are being silly billies backstage. Oh, God.
He got his Finkel impersonation on TV.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, the crowd, they loved the Kevin Nash reference from 96, and they loved the Finkel ref. Oh.
Watch out for that choke slam.
That was good.
He did a good impression,
Ross's
but no one
was
cares.
good as well.
Yeah,
It's
yours
not,
is,
not as good as Gallows.
No,
though.
but yeah.
It's like he's alive again. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
he's only alive when impersonating better people. Isn't that right, Kane? An angry AJ Styles arrives and slaps Anderson's phone out of his hand. Angry that they weren't around when Jimmy Uso beat him down earlier. yeah. Were you guys doing Finkel impressions when I was getting beat up?
Hey, it bleeds on from last week though, because they're like, don't get involved in that bloodline stuff, lads.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Stay clear.
The escalation from the minor disagreement to the slap of the phone was instantaneous, and he slapped it really hard as well. No! I was like, oh my God.
That's such a rib the brothers play on each other, isn't it? Getting the real phone and really smashing it.
Really smashing
What
the
a
stuff.
ribbing to net.
Like the territory days. I'm when Dory Funk Jr. broke my iPhone. Anderson says he warned AJ not to get involved, like you said. And AJ says he doesn't want any of them to come near his match tonight.
Fair enough.
All right.
Useless.
Yeah, that useless don't even come around, all right? In the main event, AJ beats Jimmy Uso, thanks to help from Good Brothers, I guess, but is blindsided by the Judgment Day afterwards. They roll AJ back in the ring for Solo to hit him with the spark.
So Judgment Day and Bloodline, I feel like last week maybe I missed something crucial. Judgment Day and the Bloodline are friends.
They're still working together. They had like a weird working relationship a few months ago, didn't they, on Raw?
Oh,
That's right.
Oh,
It's still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hayden was like, can you get rid of these lads for us?
Yeah.
It was Sammy and Kevin up from right.
Okay.
Long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
Getting
Hey,
rewarded for watching every week.
It's weird
Paul
'cause-
Heyman's still booking.
But elsewhere, they were like saying like, we're the new Bloodline. We're gonna take over their spot, and now they're helping them. It's weird.
But I'm like, you're not.
Oh, they
We know you're not. You know you're
they
not. It's
might.
all right.
It was a weird little match, this one, though, because Jimmy takes this bump at the start where he gets kicked in the hamstring in the rope.
It took the Mr. Perfect bump.
Yeah, lands right in his neck.
Yeah.
And then it was sort of like, oh, is he okay, I think? And then it was just going a bit slow for a while. Then it sort of went, wabadaboo.
Yeah.
Then that was going up for the gears, Maffew. Roman's ordered Solo to be there, I guess, is what, when Solo came out, because he wasn't around earlier. I think he even said he wasn't at the arena, that he was there at the end. I don't even know. It was weird. The crowd was sat on their hands for this match, which didn't help with the sort of, because it was all like more drama based than, moves and whatnot, wasn't it?
Right.
But yeah, just a bit of a, I don't know if it was just the crowd or whether it was just an underwhelming ending of the show. I
Yeah.
can't work it out.
I think it's a setup to stuff to come. So, yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Meh, meh, meh.
AEW Collision. Ricky Starks is a nasty man. John Moxley beats Action Andretti in an open challenge for the International Championship. God, the crowd were very, very popular here for John Moxley.
Yeah. John Moxley.
They even brought up like the Bizarro land thing.
Oh,
like,
Kevin Kelly must have said that about 50 times
Yeah.
in this match, didn't he? It's
as
what
the kids say, Bizarro, because you might hear things that you don't want other people to hear, like you on Discord by Famous Right Pal. And I thought Moxley looked all right here. I think this match went on too long, or longer than it needed to, because it's Collision. Everything goes on longer. So, but Action Andretti I think he was exposed out here.
Do you think?
How so?
You look at him going, is there any difference between you and the other flippy lads in his position?
He's
You don't really
not-
have much personality, and they even sell on commentary. Well, he can win. He can win the big one. You're like, he won once against Jericho.
I'd like
That's
if that
it.
was his gimmick. He only beats main eventers.
The modern day Maven.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit.
To be fair, though, what sets him apart is his entrance, because he leaps through the bottom and middle ropes off the floor into a handspring, like headstand spring thing.
Yeah, he's
Nobody
like.
does that.
He's like what was he? The British wrestling guy who saved British wrestling. Sizem. Justin Sizem used to do a bit of that.
Did he?
He did used to do
You
that.
know
Yeah,
what?
Stuntman size him.
I thought his
He
kid
could-
would
he
get
could
wrapped
do
up in
it-
his
he could-
head.
No, it wasn't his entrance. He could do a spear from the floor into the ring. It was amazing.
It was really impressive.
And in hindsight, he was right.
What
about
happened to
British
him?
wrestling as
Yes,
well.
he was.
He was right all along.
Yep.
Where did he go after World of Sport?
Just going back to the film industry, I believe.
All right. I mean, he looks amazing. So yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
It looked like Moxley hurt his leg in this match when he jumped off the top rope into like a roll through because he was sort of hobbling, but then
I think it was just a sell and
Action
just
started,
just for something. And then
Yeah.
Action, did his thing off the top where Mox had to come towards him. Otherwise, Action would just splattered. And you're like, all right, yeah, cool. And then I like the finish though where Action just healed it up.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to do the stomps that he does. Mox just grabs him, puts him in the Bulldog choke.
Nice
I thought that was a
little-
nice finish, but
Nigel McGuinness would have got a smacked bottom when he got backstage, I reckon, because he compared Moxley and the sort of bizarre world reaction he was getting from the crowd to Jack the Ripper in the 1800s.
Oh, God.
Getting shit even though he's a bad boy.
Right.
What is it with wrestlers and Jack the Ripper? That's another
What
one.
do you mean Jack the Ripper got cheered? That sold out tour he did. Of like,
So you got Finn Balor, NXT TakeOver London, Sting, All In, Nigel.
Maybe
what a ripper.
maybe Guy Fawkes would have been a better.
That's
Because
nice,
he
yes.
was a nasty man, but he's like become like a folk hero. Not Jack the Ripper. Yeah, okay. He's cropped up again on this podcast as Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's mad.
crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
In a video package, Roderick Strong is flanked by the Kingdom. This is so good. And tells Adam Cole that he's changed. He says he's going to win the Grand Slam tournament and beat MJF for the title, but he still won't be happy because he just wants his friend back.
Unbelievable.
I love this. Sad
We-
little
we
bitch,
were-
Roderick Strong.
We were I think we didn't realize that it was deliberate at first because we were all like, oh, this Roderick Strong stuff. It's amazing. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's working into his strengths and his promos.
Yeah.
Beforehand, you're like, look at this guy, he sounds like a bitch. But I was like, oh, his character is that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's great.
Roddy Strong's always baffled me because I've always thought he looks like he should be a really good, just cocky heel. Like, I'm better than you. Like, he just looks like that. But no, he's better at this whiny stuff. He's better at being like a nerdy little whiner. It's weird because he looks like the frat boys that Ross sees on Northumberland Street.
Yeah. Avoid them at all costs.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel think about how the Kingdom are feeling because he's speaking about being alone. How must that make them feel? Because they're with him, but he still feels alone. Oh, I'd be conflicted if I was either one of the Kingdom lads, Mike Bennett or the other one.
Taven.
Taven.
Matt, the other one, Taven.
Former Ring of Honor World Champion Matt Taven.
Yes, infamously.
Nobody
yes.
likes that one, do they though? Remember, it was like 17, 18 sort of time, maybe 2017.
Yeah, he beat Jack the
2018.
Ripper for it. Yeah, no, it's just fantastic stuff. Chris Statlander beats Robin Renegade to retain I love that name. Retain the TBS title, but Robin and Charlotte attack her after the bell. Jade Cargill makes her return to save the day. Here she comes, and there she goes. But lays out Statlander afterwards. She kisses the title belt, make it clear she wants it back.
Do you reckon there's a chance that Jade was obviously getting pitched returns and whatnot, and then Tony was like, you're going to come back, still as a heel, still going after the TBS title? And she was like, bollocks. I'm done. See you later.
Maybe.
Nothing new.
I think maybe they already knew that she was wanting out, and it goes, all right, well, we'll do something with you.
We'll use you to get someone over.
Yeah, put Chris over
Yeah,
in a
right,
proper
yeah.
match because she hasn't done anything for months. It would be, it'd be
she-
hilarious, like the idea. I know we all like the idea of moaning and being very ambiguous, but kind of crapping on AEW while she's away attending film premieres and just being amazing. And she comes back for it. Hey, I've returned. Yeah, I'm leaving.
I get it though because
But it's AEW, could be possible, I guess.
you've just reminded me there that Statlander only beat her after she'd already wrestled a match. So
Yeah, and again, lots of people were like, hang on, this doesn't make sense and makes it look silly because we've skipped all the other Jade matches we have in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
I'm like,
why-
no,
what-
I've been watching them. She's been doing this and challenging more, and whatever.
Wonder what the reason she is, like, in storyline, still being with Mark Sterling, because it's all his fault that she's not
Yeah.
TBS champion. She just defended against, what she called, I can't live with Valkyrie in my head. Taya Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, she can wrestle again.
Frankie Monet, as she was for a brief time, wasn't she?
Yeah, NXT,
In
with a
NXT.
small dog.
when Taya was in
you know, I
NXT.
remember the names. Like, where was she? She was in NXT. Yeah,
Yeah, really briefly.
yeah.
She had vignettes and never
I think
really.
half of AEW were in NXT for like
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Strange.
Good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, Jade. Ruby Soho and the match was just whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Ruby Soho and Saraya say that Toni Storm has lost her mind and they need to smack some sense into her. Elsewhere, Tony Schiavone has a sit-down interview with Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli. Eddie claims that when Claudio left the indie scene for WWE, he didn't do business with Eddie, which I think is him saying that Claudio didn't want to lose to Eddie on the way out. Kingston wants Claudio to put the Ring of Honor title on the line at Grand Slam and offers to put his New Japan Strong Belt on the line too. Claudio agrees.
sorry.
Yeah. No, Claudio agrees here. Claudio agrees on one condition. Once he beats Eddie, they shake hands. Claudio admits that one day he'll lose the Ring of Honor title to a better man, but that will never be Kingston.
That was a good line at the end there.
Yeah, I think this is one of these things where they've done this in the past with the Young Bucks. Was it the Young Bucks? Oh yeah, the Young Bucks FTR, and then the Kenny Omega bit with Jim Ross, where it looks like it's a really long bit, and they've just cut it to hell.
Yeah.
Cut it to hell, and you're like, this would be nice if this upload the whole thing, but I guess they have got other stuff to be doing. But what they put here was nice. But when Eddie going, remember, and Claudio ignoring him, and then like Claudio finally saying, "Oh, I'll put that business to one side finally, and he's like, "Oh, you do remember? I knew it." You know,
I hated Claudio in this, which is the point. He was like, "Who do you think your parents would want you to be more like?" I was like, "Oh." And it's the bit where he's just like, "You remember why I hate you?" And he's like, "I have no idea what he's talking about." Like, "Oh, you arsehole."
You can just imagine it, though, can't you? Imagine us bringing home Claudio as a friend, the Swiss Superman, 6'4", his massive pepperoni nips.
One time,
I never noticed them until seeing him point them out. I'm like, God, they are big. Like,
one time when I was about 15 or 16, my mate from school and his family went to Cornwall on like during the Easter holidays, and they were allowed to take a friend. Like the kids were allowed to take one friend each, and I was my mate's friend who got brought along, right? So I was the plus one, and then his cousin, his like mate, also basically. There's three of us knocking about and one other lad who was just really handsome and like a surfer and stuff. And you would just overheard like the parents and that even going like, "God, Henry's a handsome lad, isn't he?" And it made us feel a bit like, well, we're handsome.
yeah, you don't want to hear your parents say that when you can hear them.
It wasn't my parents because it was my mate's family I was staying with. But I remember us being like, we're handsome too, right? Not just Henry, but Henry was very handsome.
Wow. Your son's better than our son.
Yeah, like we did a surfing lesson one day as like an activity, but like the instructor was like, "Henry, you can just go and do what you want, mate," because he was already a good surfer. God damn it.
Did he have that hairstyle where it's like sort of just not quite neck level, but a bit above?
No,
it's
no,
like a little bit wavy.
No, he had like
when he gets in the sea salt. It's all, ooh.
This was like 2009 or whatever when every teenager had basically my haircut. He had the same hair,
the fringe.
But he had like abs and that, and like there was lasses we would knock about with, but they all just were interested.
I was gonna say, it's the one day he decided to talk to you like childhood sweetheart and says, "Hi, I like, ladies and gentlemen, the new student to join us, Ripped Henry."
We went to the beach one night drinking, which we weren't allowed to do, but yeah, we were like teenagers.
You're going to prison.
And we were all taking turns putting on different songs. And I stopped a song at one point to put on a different one, but it was my turn. I was interrupting my own song. I was like, "Sorry, no, I'll do a different one." Didn't know that Henry had been enjoying the first song I put on, and he went, "Mate, never be a DJ." And I was like,
"Oh."
It cut me so deep.
And you know,
Henry said that.
And you know when someone likes someone like that, because they'll say something weak like that, like, "Yeah,
what?
Don't be a DJ."
Never
and then
be
the
a
people,
DJ.
the one person that likes go, "Ha ha ha, yeah."
Oh yeah,
That's the funniest thing ever.
Oh yeah,
Touching your
everyone
body.
agreed with Henry that I should never be a DJ. Like, yeah, because I turned off Zombie Nation or whatever we were.
And that's when you just go home and
Genuinely getting enough.
you just go home and cry and have a wagamama.
Sorry, I brought up some stuff.
There you go. Juice Robinson and the Guns. This will cheer you up.
Henry's going to become a recurring character in the comments. Like, Henry would go to an Italian restaurant. He'd serve him.
Imagine if you finally did it and Henry was there.
Henry wouldn't need to. Henry would know how to cook that from scratch, and it tastes better than the restaurant.
Wait, a fourth pizza, please.
Henry owns
You call us a linguine?
One for each arm.
You know when Indiana Jones gets on the plane, he's like, "Nice try, Lao Che." It's Henry's Italian restaurant. He's there. He owns the plane.
Yeah, I'm here to get away from my dickhead friend. I just realised you're him. How you doing? Juice Robinson and the dickhead friends, the Guns, beat the team of Gravity, Aerostar, and Dios El Inframundo.
Yeah.
Go on, give it another go.
This is when dickhead Henry knows. Actually, I can speak Spanish very well. Latin Spanish. Dios del Inframundo, which was Drago, right?
I thought it was.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is him.
I'll call him that, the star of WCPW.
Well,
Well, he was there.
he was there.
He was there.
I lent him my phone charger once. I remember thinking, I've never lent a dragon my phone charger before, so that was cool. Nice man, from my very brief interaction with him. I'm just Googling what inframundo means.
Go on.
English.
Is it massive tongue?
It's...
That'd be nice.
Oh, it's... So his name is it Dios?
Dios.
Days of the Underworld is his ring name. Days of the Underworld. Oh my God.
Cool name.
Yeah.
They were all right here.
Everything's all right at home.
Again, you watch Future Underground, you think this is going to be so sweet, and they were okay. They were cannon fodder for the other lads.
I liked how they didn't really start doing anything until they started cheating. And I say cheating like that because they were doing, Lucha Libre tag rules where you don't even stay on the outside, but then they started cheating and they started doing things.
Did you spot the one ref?
Well, he started to go like, now, you can't do it. And
He went, whoa, there's no time. what are you doing? Like, even the Young Bucks pretend. And then Juice Robinson on the outside said, I saw it.
Juice Robinson, by the way, who is the Collision Cowboy of the Month. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Congratulations to Juice. His pop was like LA Knights this week on Collision. It was fantastic.
So good.
His wife, by the way, Tony, uses mayonnaise for face cleanser, we learned this week as well, during Sarai's promo. Mayonnaise. Fantastic. Andrade is the other big news headline from this match because he was
Oh, yes.
he was stuck at the end where the final fall happens. He's like going, yeah. And then someone goes, don't smile, clearly in the background. And he goes,
Yeah.
just looks at the camera. So
He's smiling at all the cheating going on.
It's like the Nash promo at WrestleMania 11 when he faced Michaels. 11. Is there a Diesel? There's a Diesel promo either in the build to that match or at WrestleMania itself when he's talking like Kevin Nash, but he's not Kevin Nash yet. He's just Diesel, so he's going like, "Yeah, I'll win. It'll be no problem." And I'm gonna beat him up. Like suddenly someone's gone more, but it doesn't work because it's Kevin Nash.
So what could it mean then? What's Andrade doing? Is he going to be part of the Bang Bang gang, or is he looking at those luchadors?
Probably the luchadors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be a good twist. He goes, what do you think, just because we're from the same area? You guys stunk in this match. Ugh.
He can't be in the
Cardboard Jay White outshone you.
Andrade's LIJ affiliated though, or Los Ingobernables. He can't be in the Bullet Club. Are they the Bullet Club? I don't know. I guess they are.
I know, they've had like Don Callis has got like, has he got Bullet Club lads and he's got, what's Osprey in?
United Empire.
United Empire, so.
Has he? Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was fun. I thought this match, that design made the guns look good. And Juice Robinson continues to play people's legs after they've won, like a guitar. Like, oh, God, that looked better. Oh, no. Don't get, no.
What a wagamama that was on the podcast.
CJ Perry gets a video package where she talks about Miro losing himself when he lost the TBS title. She's the TBS title?
Oh, sorry, the TNT title.
Thank you. Thought you
Sorry
could.
about- No, I didn't. It was
See,
just-
Jack likes to do these to make sure I'm paying
no,
attention.
yeah, that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
She says she was once the coldest manager in all of wrestling, and now maybe she wants to be that again.
So she either said coldest or coolest.
I think she said coolest.
I thought she said coldest.
Cold doesn't make me sense because no one would call her cold.
The illest, the coldest.
So
Yes,
They're all words we
she
all
speaks
use
like
here.
early 90s. The most bodacious manager.
She's so tubular.
She's a ravishing. Oh, she was ravishing back in the day.
yeah.
She
That's
was a
true.
ravishing Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all makes sense, though. She was the first casualty on the righteous road because Miro left her. And now he had her back, but now he's being stubborn. So it all makes sense. Stop being stubborn. Not the good kind of stubborn, the bad kind of stubborn.
Yeah.
Be a good kind of stubborn, I guess. Whatever that means.
It
Confusing.
felt. Yeah. I'm hoping it all makes sense in the end.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was going to like build up the promo for a match with Miro. Because she was like, I've been on the sidelines for 2 years, asking myself if I've still got what it takes. But then she said the manager line. I was like, oof, that would have been interesting. Miro versus CJ in a match.
Yeah.
A shoot fight.
She's so
fight
flexible, the thing wouldn't work on her. She'd just be fine.
That makes sense.
That's like a Chikara storyline or something.
I'm not flexible. You can't hurt me. We're moved. The Dark Order get an unnervingly, that's a hard thing to say, positive video telling us not to be a bad guy. Be like them. Say, I like this. This was very quick. We went, when you buy a T-shirt from a wrestler, they're fake. They don't like you. They just want your money. We care about you. Buy our merch instead. And it just zoomed in their faces. I thought that was nice.
It's back to being like the origins of Dark Order
Yeah,
back
very
in the
much
day.
day one, right.
Recruiting creepy perverts. They are the creepy perverts recruiting other people to be creepy perverts.
Yeah, lots of them back in day one of AEW. It was nice to just go, we're heel now. We're bad guys now. We're back to this.
Yeah.
Has John
Stop
tweeted
cheering
this
us.
week?
I haven't checked.
Big John didn't have a good time last week. Did you see his tweets?
John.
Big John Silver.
Oh, right.
I thought it was clear he was in character, but people took it like, oh, it's him.
Oh,
It's like,
think
I
did
can't
see
afford
this,
2
yeah.
pay-views in 2 weeks and stop being poor. I can't believe I think they are getting annoyed going, we're heel, right? There's no one watching Ring of Honor.
I can't remember who it was, but someone had responded that in like, a bit of a weird marketing decision.
there was so
mock
many.
your fans for being poor.
Yeah, there's so many people taking it
What?
uber
Have
seriously.
they not seen anything MJF's been saying over the past 3 years?
But he's a good guy now.
Well, yes.
So
He's changed.
He's our scumbag.
Yeah.
I got a furious. One of the number 2 biggest American wrestling show in all of America, and no one knows we're heel. The Acclaimed get a video announcing the continuation of the Acclaimed World Tour. So that means they've done Wembley, and then it's just off to America for the tours.
Yeah.
And I put down, it's a world tour because they're not coming to the northeast of England.
But Impact Wrestling are.
They are.
They certainly are.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
who are they bringing along? Why, it's Tom's friend and meal ticket, Mr. Grado.
Yeah, and meal ticket. Yeah, there's various people announced for it. Ospreay's announced for it as well.
Yeah.
The Newcastle one.
We're finally going to get Grado versus Ospreay. I've been trying to get that booked for years. This is it.
Have a word with Tom, who's Grado's agent apparently, and it'll be fine.
Cost of tattoo removal. All right, see if we can work the numbers.
That Newcastle date is their not like a pay-per-view, but like their special, like their mini special. So that's cool that Newcastle's getting that one.
Right.
Fair play.
Good.
Cheers,
The
Impact.
world famous Walkadome. Aye. What are we talking about? Ray Fenix wins a singles match against Helico, who I forgot was employed.
I think he's just back, isn't he? Wasn't he gone and then back?
It's a shame we didn't get to hear his theme song.
Yeah.
What a tapper that was back in the day. I say back in the day. When that day was, I've got no idea. Could have been 2 years, could have been last month.
And Helico.
Sad but true, but you're exactly right, mate.
And Helico, Joel, is a top red. Is it? Yeah, he supports Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in a...
Oh, because of Bruce Grobbelaar.
Oh, yeah, that would
South
make sense,
Africa.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And he's that sort of age. He would be a kid when that was going on. We were driving past... we were doing a show in Manchester, and I was in the same car as him. We were driving past Old Trafford, and he went, "Oh, there's Old Trafford." And I was like, "You Man United fan?" And he went, "No, Liverpool." I was like, "Oh." Him and Bully Ray. Bully Ray, the biggest Liverpool fan.
God. Afterwards, FTR interviewed backstage and issued an open challenge for the tag titles. Ooh, that always goes well.
I thought that, who were they going to sign was my initial response. Like a new tag team wanting to step up, and it turns out to be the Iron Savages.
Oh, right,
That's the
okay.
new tag team stepping up.
It'd be a good match.
Are they a new tag team, though?
They're not there. They're people known as, Bear Country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one who likes to eat the ass.
Yes, they're going semi-viral there, so they're getting a push. That's wrestling.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to eat your ass. Roderick Strong
Thank
faces...
you very much.
Roderick Strong faces Darby Allin in the Grand Slam tournament semi-final. Nick Wayne tries to fight off the Kingdom on the outside and is helped by AR Fox. However, the Kingdom force a miscommunication. Like he typing like a commentator, resulting in Fox taking out Wayne. In the ring, Strong beats Darby to progress to the
It
final.
was a genuine miscommunication.
Well,
It's going to be
like-
Wayne who turns heel.
Could be the worst thing possible. It's all right. We'll help, won't we, Nick Wayne? Nick Wayne's like, I hate you, AR Fox.
Yeah.
It's all right. No, I got this. Accidentally moonsaults him.
Of all the moves to
I know,
accidentally
that's
hit
it, of
someone.
all the moves to accidentally
It was
hit
like
on
a
somebody.
step up off the ring post, amazing thing.
And Fox is like, no, the worst thing. I did not want this to happen.
No, Nick Wayne will be the one to turn heel, surely. He's got all the motivation.
Yeah.
Darby's like, you've let him back in. You've let
It'll
AR
be
Fox
such
back
a
in.
justified heel turn. It's like, yeah, I don't like you.
Yeah. This is the genesis of Wayne's World, he'll say. Oh.
That's his move, isn't it? What
Wayne's
move is
World.
that? Yeah, he's got a move called
right.
Wayne's World.
I know. I don't know. It's moved. It's either going to be a cutter.
It is a cutter.
Springboard cut. Is it?
Top rope
I was
cutter.
joking. Is
Why?
it really?
Why is that? Because he's a young indie guy.
No, because they all did the bloody move. Actually, Andretti did a bloody thing in this match where he did a springboard rolling cutter. You're like, Grayson Waller's cutter suddenly looks like, Austin is prime now. What, you do a springboard inward roll? Then a cut. All right. Way too many cutters
all that
in
momentum.
AEW.
All the transferal of momentum. It doesn't make sense. It's like
I hate when Moxie does it. Like,
Yeah.
The
don't do
best
that.
one's Natalia's discus lariat. Because if we go like, wee, that makes the lariat harder.
Yeah.
But the structure of all this was weird for me because we had the backstage attack from Christian
Right, yeah.
on Darby, who then immediately, when he gets in the ring, does like his low pay where he just kills himself anyway. I'm like, why did we bother with the attack
I
backstage?
fully agree with you, Ross. It's like they were telling a really good story here to like keep Darby strong because he's getting that big push, but obviously can't win this tournament. So I was like, why are we even in it? So yeah, Christian Luchasaurus beat him up because together they are the AEW TNT champion. So they're doing this, and Roddy's the master of the backbreaker. You may or may not know this, but he's really good at the backbreaker. When he's not being a bitch, he's really good. But it's lost on a guy like Darby, who's like, oh no, he's destroyed his body. Oh wait, Darby does that to himself anyway. So it kind of got lost in the shuffle of what the story they're trying to tell. But it was just about keeping Darby strong in the loss, I guess. And Roddy did look credible.
It lost me a bit though, the amount of offense he was kicking out from. Because Joel, my move of the week this week, if you want to hit the jingle.
Oh, baby.
Is the backbreaker in the corner on the top turnbuckle. Where not only does he land spine first on the really hard turnbuckle, he takes a backwards bump over the top rope and twats his head off the
He
apron.
does one of them ones, doesn't he? Yeah.
And he
The
sold
Tom
it.
Campbell on the table.
And he sold it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, but it did get a good double gasp. Like it was like, oh,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree. Good pick.
Yeah, there was another one after the attack backstage, the backbreak on the turnbuckle. There was a Boston Crab that went on for ages as well. Then he takes a bump on his arse on the apron, and then the coffin drops off the ropes to the floor. It's a bit like, we know it's the gimmick, and shades of Jeff Hardy, whatever. Like he's an indestructible man, but it's a bit like when it's the story of the match and you've done the attack backstage. I want to see a bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Linear storytelling. The linear
I
storytelling.
completely agree. In the situation, you're like, wow, the Master of the Backbreaker can't pull away this lad who's willingly breaking his own back anyway. You're like, all right.
He's so sick.
Yeah. He literally is. Powerhouse Hobbs gets a vignette where he admits that Miro took him past his limit, but he still looks to the Book of Hobbs for guidance, and everyone will fall. We later get one for, bloody hell, Vincent, Dutch, and Grayson, the Righteous. And after months of being on Ring of Honor TV and I've been told, they'll be appearing on AEW soon, we got this brief thing which said nothing about who they were or what they are.
Everything they do
wear
is
white
brand
clothes.
new.
Yeah, they've
Only
cleansed
like if it's
themselves.
brand new. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's weird, isn't it?
They do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you always do
They
that.
started with like a West End musical.
Do they still do the? What was their stable in Impact? They used to do this thing where like one of them would. It was like when It was big, I think, because one of them would release a balloon from under the ring, and it'd be like, "Oh, they're here! Oh no, the balloon!" No, it was good. No, it was better than.
What are you laughing at?
It was better than. It was really menacing. It was better than what I've.
Was there a red balloon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. That's medicine.
You just see like
Evil murder clowns coming.
I think it was Vinny who would do it. Like there'd be a tag match breaking down or whatever, everyone's down, and then it's like, oh, it's the balloon.
It's the balloon!
It was good.
Oh, wait. Big pop for the balloon. You're right. That probably sounds cool, but the description you give is
Yeah, it
hilarious.
was good, but the commentator had to be quite fast to catch it because it was like, oh, it's the balloon. Oh, it's good. Then it's off camera by the time it's gone up. So it's the balloon. Yeah. I really hope they do that.
It's an interesting one because Stu's involved as well, and Stu Grayson's there.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
And the spooky pervert Dark Order are back. So
But they've already had their match at the Ring of Honor, last Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
It's done and dusted, and 3 people saw it.
Yeah.
this time we could have balloons.
Keith Lee, the only way he's going to get put up on the card is he holds a grabs a balloon and holds onto it. Keith Lee is interviewed backstage in his giant one-piece hoodie with a brand new one-piece thing. I was like, yay!
Indubitably, yeah.
As people on Twitter, opposed to that, people said, the website he got that from has blatantly got his credit card info now. They're on the dark web now. Keith Lee says that there are certain individuals avoiding him, so he might as well get his work done on Collision instead. He advises his enemies to run. I assume he's talking about Swerve Strickland then, and the feud that's never going to actually
Was
climax.
the run thing a Wyatt tribute, or was he just saying run?
It was hard to tell.
It could have been.
Yeah, fair enough if it was.
You have to end your promo on something snappy. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to beat you, then watch. Anime. It's like, it doesn't really work, does it?
I think he's got all his aims messed up in his head because he went, well, I've had to come to Collision because everyone's staying away from me over there, but I want everyone to run away from me now. I'm like, why?
Let's keep on going back and forth
Yeah.
between the brands.
Everyone's like, I don't want to fight him. He's massive.
That'd be a good gimmick, that. Anyone fancy a wrestle? No? I'll see you next week. Then.
That's kind of what Alistair
there.
Black was doing in WWE.
Is there an OVW on Netflix going, hello, award-winning greatest wrestling superstar of all time, Al Snow. Can I have a wrestle?
James Storm costs how much? That was bad. That. He must have cleared that, surely. To say, my rate is £600 or dollars.
Yeah, you don't want to... Yeah.
You don't want that out there, do you?
Probably, no.
I've just told a few
No,
more people.
it was that. Yeah, that would not repeated it. He said that, and then Al Snow, Al Snow, remember, said, well, he won't have 60 people coming.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He won't sell 60 tickets or whatever he
It was
said.
a double whammy.
I bet maybe he's done something clever. Maybe his real going price is $200 dollars, and he's gone. We'll say it's 600.
That's good, though.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's really funny setup for that series because, like, the OVW, that's why you see the future of tomorrow. But we've got Al, who's a wrestling legend, but he's really bad with money.
It's wacky, isn't it? It's good.
Crazy.
Well, they're going to get, like, Gordon Ramsay in to fix it? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know.
He knows a mate.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson arrives for an in-ring interview and implies his career is starting to wind down. He's not done yet, though. He wants to face Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Dream. Ricky Starks interrupts with Big Bill and says he's going to start being greedy. He said, I used to be... What was the great line? He said, I was
graduated
starving.
from being hungry to being greedy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that one-liner promo, innit?
Every week he gets that one beautiful line because he's a beautiful man and becomes the face of Collision. Brian says he admires Ricky's attitude and seems to offer him a place in the Blackpool Combat Club.
Forged in combat.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Big Bill beats him down instead, and Starks goes, whoa, what are you doing? And joins in beating him up. Which I thought was nice. Like, was he about to? Was he not? Moxie runs out to make the save, but falls victim to the numbers game. Also a big boot in tribute to Test, Bill Simmons' favorite wrestler. Before Starks chokes Brian out with a BCC shirt like he did to Justin Roberts, known pervert.
What if your Bill Simmons fella had watched Big Bill and just assumed it was Test?
That you may say that jovially, but that could be true. Bloody hell, Tess looks amazing.
I remember when Tess beat Ted DiBiase in the main event of WrestleMania 4. It was an amazing time for everybody.
You know what? Of all the WrestleManias, that's probably my favourite.
It made all the sense in the world for Starks to like almost get recruited by the BCC because that's what you got to bleed together before you go for a Wagamama together. So that's the catchphrase. Isn't
I
it?
have heard that. Yes. That's why Wheeler was so happy.
Yeah.
But it's nice, isn't it? It's nice he's got the final countdown as his theme now, and now this is apparently because his daughter's nearly 7.
Yeah.
The final countdown.
Oh, yeah, literally the final countdown. That's good.
I hope he gets the title before he. I said before he pops his clogs, but yeah, before he.
No,
retires.
I mean that's got to be all of us at one point.
He's done that before, where he was his like farewell match in PWG before he went to WWE, and it was a title match, and everyone's like, "Oh, he'll lose, and it'll be a big emotional goodbye." And then he just won the belt and vacated it. He was like, "Oh, yeah, I've won."
Dude, have you seen
And
that?
it was an amazing match.
Have you seen? Yeah, I've seen it. I
Was it
think he beat
against-
Chris Hero.
Right,
I believe
okay,
so. Yeah, a fan gets in the ring and just hugs him, and just this kid, and then he's just like so torn up, like I can't believe what's happened. Like, I was like, some kids in the ring, security. But yeah, that was a lovely moment.
So they could do it again, maybe. There's like a full circle. I don't know.
And it's a shame if it is true about what he's saying. He wants the Zack Sabre Jr. match. He wants to do this. But yeah, it's hard to imagine, isn't it? Even though he has been on borrowed time, technically, I guess.
That's going to be such a chess match. It's going to be like 4 chess boards on top of each other.
Boards, yes, we are. But yeah, no, lovely promo, and it's like heartbreaking to think of. But again, Danielson's just, he's so good.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
Yeah,
pretty good.
Bit of all right.
Not bad, eh?
Woof. Backstage, Big Bill says he's going to batter Moxie in his hometown. Fenix interrupts and tells him to get in line.
This made no sense.
Bill says that Fenix has bigger things to worry about because in the main event, Samoa Joe will beat his brother. That's up next, and Joe does win. Yeah, it didn't like, you have bigger things to worry about. Yes, we have to watch our friend and family member lose.
Yeah.
And Tony Schiavone was like, well, we've just had an announcement by Tony Khan that next week Big Bill will take on John Moxley. And I was like, you need to get to the back of the queue. Even though the booker's made the match already. It's got nothing to do with Big Bill.
Bit of a dog's dinner, that one. But
Yeah.
then Samoa Joe beat Penta in a match that was all right.
Headbutt, shoulder barge, Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
I thought Samoa Joe, again, just to mention it, but the wrestler that we saw like in 2021 on NXT is a far distant memory, and he continues to do that because he's wrestling every single week now, and it's amazing to see.
Yep.
The no-look table spot, I guess, was the big one, where Joe walks out the way and Penta flies to the table.
That was very silly.
Because you're thinking to yourself when the table gets whapped out, you're like, it's not a no DQ match, is it? But then he didn't put him through the table, did he? He flew through it himself. But it was a good main event, I thought.
Yeah.
It was one of those matches where Joe was winning.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
That's true.
Penta goes through the table. Monday Night Raw, Return of the Jacks. Once again. Return of the Jacks. Bump up the world. Return of the Jacks. Watch my flow. Return of the Jacks.
Ow, my hole.
Nice. I'm to sneeze.
Very good. Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Jey Uso opens the show, but is interrupted by Kevin Owens. The sneezes never come on time, do they? God, that would have been perfect for that. Now it's going to stay on my nose awkwardly. Owens says that Sammy and Cody might trust Jey, but a lot of the Raw locker room don't. The Judgment Day arrive and are still confident about getting Jey to join their group. They prepare to attack Owens, but Jey offers to team with him and starts a brawl.
Okay.
Jey Uso is a maverick, right? Because he was on SmackDown and his T-shirts were largely like red, and now he's on Raw and his T-shirts are largely blue.
What's he doing?
What's he like, eh?
Crazy.
Off the chain. Yeah. I like the continuation of Kevin Owens because like Owens never liked Jey, never trusted him, and now it's continuing now, which is nice. Owens was right in saying he was a heel for a long time, then he turned babyface, and this is why Jey is in his career, I guess, at the same time. All these people he's wronged on Raw. And then again, just the Judgment Day and Bloodline working relationship being brought up again. Isn't that nice?
Yes, very convenient.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, but now you've said it, they did achieve a lot of different things with that. Because I didn't really like it on the surface. I was like, I don't really care about the trust issues and that. But now you've said all that and spelled it out. Yeah, it does make sense.
Oh, this is the aspect of it that I did like during the Bloodline.
Fair enough.
So it's like, oh, yeah, like, it's not just, Jay's here. Yeah, you're a good guy now.
That's true.
Woohoo, come to the good guy locker room. Kevin's like, no.
Andrew,
yeah.
and Riddle. Well,
Yeah.
Well,
kind of.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, how about we team up and see what you're made of? And then, but the only one I don't like is, again, so funny, isn't it? Heels can accidentally hit each other like 5 times a match. All it takes is 2 good guys, 1 kick. Was that meant for me? Oh, that's it. So friendship's gone there straight away. So
We need at least one example before the air's out, just for the first time in wrestling, where the person who's on the receiving end of the accidental hit just watches the footage back.
so there was, I can't.
oh, sorry, pal. Yeah, I just saw. Oh, yeah, it's all
I
right.
can't mention one of the people because of speaking out and stuff. I don't want to be like, this was mint involving them,
Yeah,
but there was.
But use name Almond Milk.
There was a tag team in progress. It was Mark Haskins and Almond Milk, and
There we go.
They did that once, and then the next show they came out, and there was this. They had a talk show segment or like a sit-down interview with someone, and then he was like, "Oh, he's going to batter each other," and they were like, "No, we've had a chat. We watched it back. It was just good." Yeah.
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 Yeah, we're not stupid. Yeah. Yeah, that was just that match. Tag match follows with the Jade. I just said that bit, so I'll move on. Jade tries to apologise backstage, but Kev is having none of it.
Oos. Dye your hair purple.
Well, you dye your hair purple, and then goes back, oos. It's so good. Isn't it?
Just before this little segment as well, we saw Natalya giving Rhea Ripley a pep talk, which I thought was fantastic.
Did that happen?
Giving Raquel a pep talk because of
all the advice,
all the success that Natalya's had against Rhea Ripley.
Right. Jose Mourinho was never a professional footballer. You know? Did he start as a translator? He was a translator for Bobby Robson.
Bobby Robson, yeah.
Fair enough.
Just translated all the
What would Natalya have been saying though there? How was she imparting knowledge into take down Rhea Ripley?
Da, 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 da.
You know who my uncle is, you know.
You change your name, Jack. Thank you for the advice. Raquel Neidhart debuts next week. The Miz gets his win back over former Open the Brave Gate champion Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of this, then, huh? Backstage, Raquel Neidhart is confident ahead of her title match with Rhea Ripley. Yeah, cheers.
Then she said the line, "Say her thing and she'll appear." I believe in Nia Jax because Raquel was like, "I'm not like most people."
Oh.
I didn't catch that.
Was that deliberate, do you think?
Maybe, I don't know. Triple H in it, so subtle. He's like Kawada, whatever that director he keeps bringing up.
I love this giant.
Kurosawa.
Oh, that's the one.
So if Kawada,
One of the famous Japanese director, Marufuji.
if Kawada did Seven Samurai, they'd just be kicking each other. I've never seen Seven
I like that
Samurai.
idea.
Made Joel laugh. Phil Man Joel.
Yeah, well done,
Seven
Joel.
Samurai? I've never seen it.
That's it. Our audience of one, and that one is Joel.
There was just during the Miz and Tozawa as well. There was shades of Excalibur and superstar Billy Graham's like death announcement, where Cole was during the Miz's entrance. I came to play. Doing the 9/11 tribute.
Yeah.
The music was still going in the
It's
background.
not the best music for it.
Yeah.
What was the tribute to
Because
what?
it was September
9/11,
11th.
yeah.
Oh,
It was a bit awkward to
Yeah,
watch.
a little bit.
I thought the Miz sold his jealousy of The Rock well throughout the match.
did you see
Sad man.
Dark Side Phil had a reaction stream to watching?
No.
And he had people donating bits, so I had the dancing give them.
Oh no. Oh no. That's obvious.
How tacky is that?
Such an obvious bad idea. Like, yeah.
He doesn't care,
God.
and gets paid. Ugh. Chelsea Green interrupts a backstage interview with Shayna Baszler, offering to be her tag partner because, that thing's happened, bit of a curse, Yeah, see, she knows. Piper Niven's out. Shayna isn't amused, but then Piper Niven shows up uninjured to back up Chelsea, revealing that she's all right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like how Chelsea's mouth keeps getting her in bad situations. It's a nice character to have on Raw.
Yeah.
like
It's
her
okay because she's got a Piper Niven.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, they're going to be like Enzo and Cass, or like, that sort of tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imperium arrive for Gunther's record-breaking celebration. Yep, it happened.
He said ring camp, Maffew. So did you have a stiff... I can't even get it out.
Did you have a
Hey,
wagon?
After
phrasing, Ross, phrasing.
Did you have a Wagamam after watching Raw? 'Cause he said that
I
word.
always do have to Gunther. What do you do, you weirdo?
Then he
I'm
said,
surprised you're not knee deep in this office. He says that none of the legends before him deserve any credit, and he is solely responsible for elevating the title to such heights. Please book Honky Tonk Man versus Gunther. Chad Gable interrupts and congratulates Gunther and says he knows he pushed the champion closer to the limit than anybody before him. Chad talks about his daughter crying after his defeat last week and says it's lit a fire under him to get a rematch and make things right.
with God as my witness.
Gunther says you're a great wrestler, but a terrible father for trying to use his family to get another title shot. Man's got a point.
Yeah.
Gable attacks, but Imperium beat him down. Ortiz tries unsuccessfully to make the save, and what a run that was, until Tommaso Ciampa runs out with a chair to chase the bad guys away. And backstage, the good guys agreed to a 6-man tag match against Imperium.
That line, wasn't it? Using your children as bait to get some spotlight. You are a disgusting, terrible father.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
he's right. Gunther did nothing wrong. Yeah,
I guess as well in this segment, we got to answer what Ciampa's meeting with Pierce was last week. Pierce!
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's about not going to SmackDown then.
Yeah, it was about getting a shot at Gunther.
Just thinking of Gunther doing a Christian Cage-esque. I've just realised one thing this week that I saw was that people found an old match between Edge and Buddy Wayne on Raw, and everyone's like, "Uh-oh, what's going to happen with Nick Wayne and Edge?" And yeah, could happen.
Oh, Buddy Wayne. Oh, I
Nick
just
Wayne's
remembered
dad.
Nick Wayne's dad.
Yeah,
Right. Oh,
Because Christian sort of did he tease Edge for next week? Did he?
I don't know.
he's just working, right?
Well, that's his catchphrase, isn't it? Worked
Worked
everyone.
everyone,
Yeah. He wears that because he does it. Shut up, man.
He wears that because he does it.
That's merch.
You're like, I want to say a point. I've no way to word it good. I'll just say it badly instead.
John Deere, he wears that because he does it.
Xavier Woods meets with Drew McIntyre backstage and asks why he's been talking trash about Kofi Kingston. Is it jealousy? Because Kofi had his big moment in front of 82,000 people, while Drew won the title in an empty performance center. The pair have a match after the break, which Drew wins in intense fashion.
It's a bit unfair for Xavier to bring up the pandemic. It wasn't Drew's doing, was it? You know, not his fault he won the title there.
Yeah,
Drew threw that thing at him. He's like, I'm having none of this.
yeah, that's true. He did throw the chair directly in his face by accident.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I did like how Xavier was like, "Yeah, we've moved on from that. It was next to Drew." Like Drew had it done bad, and Drew was like, "No, you did it on purpose." Like a right weirdo, didn't he?
Drew's being more heelish, maybe.
It was good that Wade was on commentary for the match as well, because obviously they've got history of those two. And he said Drew's always been a hothead and overreacts to stuff, which makes it all a bit more sensible, I guess. Linear. Up the linear storytelling once again.
That's a word of the week.
Yeah, Linear. A lovely brand of fabric conditioner. Nelly.
Oh.
That's Linear, isn't it?
Oh.
Shut up, Ross. Tit. The throw over the announce table was sassy, quite heelish from Drew to Xavier, and then Woods with a shoot super kick off a Claymore attempt was in nearly my move of the week, but I couldn't not give it to the turnbuckle thingy. The reversal of the what's he call it? The reverse Alabama slam, where he's got like the
Oh, yeah.
that move that Drew does.
I know. I don't think it's got a name.
The
but God,
reversal
it looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reversal Xavier did off that was slick.
You should have to Seth Rollins every week, and you're like, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Could call it. Oh, try it. Doesn't
Go
matter.
on.
I was just like
How do you say
Go on.
Alabama, Alabama backwards?
I was trying to say like the Bama.
I'm a baller, yeah. I'm a baller.
I'm a baller. Malls. Okay. Or the Malls. I'm a
Malls,
baller.
Alabama.
There we go.
Malls.
Alabama, look, the balloon's here. Yeah, I was surprised he got the leg drop and he kicked out of it. I'm like, oh, come on. It's on the top rope. Shocking, that. But yeah, it was nice. Cody Rhodes arrives and wants to talk about Jey Uso, but Dominic Mysterio and JD don't Google me interrupt. Dominic tells Cody that Jey is sure to join the Judgment Day, so Cody batters them both.
Yeah, he just hits his moves on them.
It feels like Cody's got no direction at the minute.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not doing Cody Dominic again, are we?
We are. Because he said the words Jey Uso, and that brought out Dom because Dom wants Jey to join the Judgment Day. So it all bleeds into that, I guess.
Oh, so Jay's going to be the one on a ladder this time. And Dominic's, I get you. Yeah.
But you're right, Cody is directionless at the minute. Is he still the man to beat Roman, or is it Seth Rollins, as I correctly pronounced?
Oh, well, seeing as you've worded it like that, Jack.
If anyone was in the arena in I'm not going to bother saying the second syllable of that. Virginia, let us know if the because when they started fighting,
here we
the
go.
boos just stopped. It was like, whoop. So let us know if it was real or not, because it sounded really fake on TV. Not that it matters.
Yeah. Again, like we're saying about the attendance stuff, it's only people only care because they deny it or say no, the opposite happened, and you're like, no, I'm listening to this now with my ears.
Sorry, it was cheers, not boos. Let's stop really quickly when they start fighting.
Yeah. Backstage, Drew tells Jay he isn't finished with him and still doesn't trust him. He doubts that Jay can stand on his own 2 feet, so Jay challenged him to a match next week.
That happened?
It did.
Yes, it did.
Shayna Baszler beats Chelsea Green, but is attacked by Piper Niven afterwards. Zoe Stark makes a save, and the two sides stare each other down. Ooh.
I like Shayna's new finisher, because it's kind of like Ronda's Piper's Pit.
Yeah.
Showing her what's what. I believe it's called... Exterminatus.
Exterminatus. We've all been there.
So I was on the news video this week, that was one of the stories. So picture me at 9 a.m. on the Warhammer 40k wiki going, what? Who's Horace? What's going on? Yeah.
Horace Hogan.
Horace Hogan led a revolution. Again, no, so apparently, Ross, it's the name.
Oh, go on. I'm ready for this.
So, no, wait. Right, so humans in the Warhammer world are called the Imperium of Man. Right? They're like your standard human category of army or whatever. Right? They are the good guys, but no one's a good guy in Warhammer. It's like a Triple H booked thing. Exterminatus is the order they give when they want to destroy a planet and everything on it.
Whoa, that makes sense for a finishing maneuver.
Yeah, which sounds very destructive for just going.
All that.
It's the talk, though.
I mean, it looks good. Yeah, it does look good.
These nerds and their wrestling and the stuff and the Warhammer.
I wouldn't say it to Shayna's face, though.
Oh, no. Terrifying lady. It was a weird little match, though, because Shayna didn't really get to show what she was about, and Chelsea didn't get to show what she was about. It was very short, not much to it. And Piper as well, standing down at the end. That doesn't sit well with me. Because she stole the tag team championship and make her a champion. She's laughed at this mystery, like the little illness she had last week. She's back and it's not real anymore. And now she's running away from 2 other women. She should be flattening them. This isn't my Piper Niven.
She's saving her battle, her strength.
For the...
Exterminatus 2. Exterminatus harder.
But it looks like we're setting up a tag team title feud with Zoe joining Shayna. Isn't the best move after, Rizzle, Razzle and Trish Stratus, by God.
Oh, yeah. It's a weird... way to transit. Yeah.
Plus, it's like, is Shayna supposed to be face? It's got a long way to go for be properly accepted like that.
They're all kind of evil. Yeah.
She's the one who rid us of the evil Warhammer ogre Ronda Rousey.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm trying to fit.
She exterminatus did Ronda Rousey.
She did, yeah.
Who can go back to UFC, which just means going to a different door.
She was meant to be going back anyway, wasn't she? Or was that all?
That was the tease, right? But,
Was that all after this thing started to come together?
I think it's taken so long to transition to TKO that I don't know. I think it's just like, let's see what happens. We see the latest Nakamura video package. This time, he has a sword. Nakamura calls Seth Rollins a remorseless liar who had to manipulate his way at the top. He says he'll challenge him to a rematch when he feels like it.
Because last week, when he had it laid out on a silver platter, he didn't want to.
Yeah.
So hopefully he gets one.
Yeah.
I like that way of doing things. Like, no, we don't want to book it just yet. So he goes, I don't want one yet. If you want to give me one, then I don't want one. You're clearly all right. I'll wait until your body's broken some more. Then I'll have one. All right. You know what? I'm okay with this because his video package has been very nice. It's nice and refreshing of a good character.
Yeah. The promos are good.
And then Rollins came out. Sorry, I was just waiting for the
Seth comes out and admits to things Nakamura has branded him as, but also talks about his good qualities too. He says the fans love him for not being a good guy or a bad guy just because he's Seth freaking Rollins. Seth wants to face Nakamura right now, so his music hits, but nobody comes out. On the Tron, we see Nakamura beating up Ricochet backstage. He says he'll take Seth's title, but not tonight.
Last week, did I miss are Ricochet and Rollins friends now?
So there was a backstage promo where Ricochet was talking to Pierce, and then Rollins walked past, and Pierce forgot that Ricochet was there. And then Pierce was like, you don't have to carry the show. Slow down, Rollins. It's not all about you. Well, that sort of stuff. And then Ricochet was like, you don't have to carry the show. I can do it too. Okay. Because I'm Ricochet.
And then everyone just died laughing.
Yeah.
So now Rollins cares that Ricochet's been beaten up backstage. He's like, oh no. I was like, what? Well, fair enough. That kind of makes it a bit.
It's a good
more
point, isn't it?
understandable.
It's like, oh no, he's been at Ricochet. So it's like, all right.
I thought Rollins was going to be like, I thought he was going to go back to him in the ring, and then he's just like, yeah.
He says there, I'm an arsehole. I'm everything Nakamura claims to be, but I'm a father and a fighter, which makes it okay.
Oh, on Son Until I Die, the documentary. You know the bit I'm going to talk about. Yeah. Chris Coleman was the manager at the time. Bad run of form. It's all going wrong for him. He gets confronted by some fans outside the Stadium of Light, and they call him like a prick. Can we say that word?
Yeah.
An effing prick. And he goes, I can't do a Welsh accent. He goes, I'm not a prick. I've got a wife and kids. Oh, right. He did the Seth Rollins.
I did like the story of like he didn't know who he was for years, like through the authority times and when he was a messiah and all that sort of stuff. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. But then it's funny how he's like, all that stuff was a facade. And now me stood here like 1970s Elton John.
Yeah, now I'm myself.
Now I'm the real me.
In this costume.
I'm so happy he found himself.
We just need to see it now. Just Rollins popping down to the shops to see if he actually is. Imagine him walking down the like co-op dressed like that.
Yeah. Nakamura, it'll be goodbye brick road for you. Whatever. Alpha Academy and Ciampa win their 6-man tag match against Imperium thanks to an ankle lock by Chad Gable.
Yes.
Otis. I don't know what he did before the show. Pre-workout, I imagine, just to keep things clean.
A big bag of Tom.
My God, yeah, big bag of Tom indeed, because he was on one this week.
Yeah.
His movement around the ring, I can't even get it out, was astonishing. Astonishing.
Yes.
Yep.
He had you've even put he had plenty of pep in his step.
Pepper to step.
He certainly did.
What else was there? It's funny how Chad now is winning every time it means nothing. That's becoming a trend.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be the one to take the title. His things are like laid out now. It's got to be him.
But I don't think it will be.
His kids at ringside. Yeah.
Kate Cutter going, ha ha, your kids. Ha ha ha.
I don't know
They're
if
going
it
to
will
cry.
be, though.
Is there a small party that wants to see a stunt double? Like, we see the shots of the kids going, yeah, go on, Daddy.
Oh.
Quick switcheroo for a stunt double.
I thought you meant-
Gunter.
I thought you meant
Yes.
when Kurt Angle's brother helped him beat the Undertaker. They could do. Gable's very similar to Kurt Angle. They could do that as well. But God, the kid getting slapped.
There's a little bit, isn't there?
What?
There's a tasteful way to do it. Just to make Gunter an uber heel. But Chad and Ludwig as well. Shout out to their in-ring footwork.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christian would have been proud. The best footwork in the game, Christian.
Absolutely. Oh, I love a bit of Christie. Becky Lynch finds Tiffany Stratz complaining to Adam Pearce in his office. God, he was busy this week. Tiffany asks Becky what she did wrong. Becky says her mistake was showing up on Raw looking for attention. She admits that Tiff is talented, but accuses her of just wanting to be famous. Becky says she'll happily make her famous, like The Undertaker,
Like the
tomorrow
American
night.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I can't remember what Becky was wearing, but I've written down she looked like Willy Wonka when she came in.
Oh.
And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the Johnny Depp version, potentially. Glasses, maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think she was, but I appreciate you saying that she was. Oh no, wait, no, those big like bug eye.
Oh,
glasses.
right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
all
thought
right.
you meant maybe she.
So I was thinking, Willy Wonka, I think the hat and. Have you
She had a
seen?
walking cane when she walked
I was going to say
in.
maybe she walked in and then did a forward roll.
Have you seen? Someone did because the new version of Wonka, you know,
The new
the
version.
prologue that no one was asking for, and someone says he just stole his entire fit from. What's his name? The Muppet with the curly nose. Gonzo from Christmas Carol. It's a side-by-side comparison, the exact same outfit.
I've not seen that new one. Is it meant to be good?
I'm watching it.
I've not even seen the Johnny Depp one.
We got made to watch that one in
Was
high
it
school.
better than the original?
The Johnny Depp one?
Yeah.
Why would you made to watch? Had you been bad?
It was like Christmas treat day. Do you remember that was the end of term at Christmas, and then that was on. Dominoes were in the room, and then Charlie, whatever it was called, was on.
Yeah.
Not as good, is it?
No, the original's quality.
Up the Gene Wilder.
It's
the
also
Gene Wilder.
very disturbing when you watch it back.
Yay!
I remember being this terrifying. What's that boat scene about?
That's so great, isn't it?
Was it a U on the video box? It was for everyone, that film.
Yeah.
Traumatizing.
You get trauma. You get trauma. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, childhood traumas. Rhea Ripley beats up Raquel Rodriguez to retain her title after interference from...
I'm not like my mom.
Oh, can't play the music on the podcast, Ross. Stop that. Nia Jax, what are you doing here? Nia beats Ripley down after the match and stands tall to end the show as everyone goes, wow, really? Oh, okay. The match was just kind of there because Raquel's still we say this every bloody week, but she's still doing the smiley, and she doesn't resemble a human being, which is a shame. But then when she was getting a bit of offense, it's like, oh, this might actually go someplace. Yeah, bloody Nia Jax shows up. Yeah, what do you think, Jack?
So is Nia the face?
No.
Because Rhea's a heel, but everyone likes her. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley is the
But
bad
they
person people
can't
like.
bring Nia
but-
Jax back and think she'll be a good face.
She's going to win the title for the wrong reason.
No, she's not going to win the title.
She is. They're going to hear the boo she gets. That won't be for Healy reasons. It's because she's there. They'll think, oh, this is going to be money. This when they take the title off Rhea, it'll turn Rhea into an uber babyface.
Right, and obviously they've got that real feud because she made that appearance at the Rumble this year, which seems like 100 years ago now, and she messed up everything. Also, Asuka was asked, I think a fan asked if they made the right choice bringing her in, and Asuka says, quote, "That question is rude and bullying. You're hurting her heart with this question. Are you really a person with a heart? If someone has not been directly harmed by her, denies her, I will fight the society for her. If I'm criticized for it, I don't care," Asuka wrote. Oh, sticking up for Nia Jax?
Because obviously Kairi Sane, I think was it during the Kabuki Warrior days when we had that lockdown Raw when...
Yeah, the powerbomb in the corner.
Yeah. If Asuka's saying it, let's go on.
Her and Charlotte, I think they were very... they didn't deny it. They just gave a very flippant non-statement about that match, but they were blatantly just slapping each
They're
other.
fighting though, because...
Yeah, then they had a match next week and everything was all right. But that one time, they definitely were like going at it.
I saw on Reddit that Charlotte's been like personal. I don't know if it's been like directly personal training, but she's been helping Nia drop a bit of weight. So
all right,
it was noticeable to be fair when she was on Raw.
And also, someone gonna ask her. So does this mean you got your jabs then, or what? That was the statement you put on Twitter. We all saw it. It's like hard to book someone if they're gonna not vaccinated and you're traveling. But just saying.
Yeah. I enjoyed Rhea lapping out the frog splash in the match. That was nice, paying tribute to Dom's father.
It feels like everybody, half the roster does a tribute to Eddie.
But it works when she does it.
That's Dom's father.
Yeah.
His real dad.
I understand you have a father.
Oh.
He did a frog splash. Yeah.
I thought in the matches, I thought they were laying it in again like they did at Payback. It was like not the long plodding heel beat down of Rhea wasn't there from Payback, which was nice because it was.
I definitely agree. It was better than the Payback match.
They had shorter time, but yeah, they laid it in again. And yeah, who's asking for Nia backstage? Because apparently I saw the story the day, which I don't know if it was just to rile up the fan base or whatever, but it was apparently a Vince McMahon call to bring her back in or something. The last thing that happened before the merger went through. Something like that I read somewhere. I'm sure that was just someone trying to write
like it's the president's last day and he gets to like pardon a bunch of criminals or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like, and Nia Jackson just runs out.
But yeah, it's obviously the reason why they brought her back is just because she's imposing.
Yeah.
And you look at the rest of the roster, and no one can really overpower Rhea. I'm trying to think of a storyline reason, and that's why she's there.
Yeah.
But there's no way she should be beating Rhea.
No maybe
way.
she won't. Maybe she won't.
Or maybe that'll be it. Like Rhea disposes of her, and then Jade Cargill just presses Nia Jax over her head or whatever. Give a few good reps.
You know what's a really good idea? Put Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler back together as the tag team that carried us through lockdown.
Oh, yes, they did.
Remember
God, they had that for months.
Every single show.
brand, yeah.
Every brand, every show, every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what people message. Maffew, are you all right? You enjoying wrestling? You're not sounding too positive about it. Oh, I hate wrestling. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, God.
You know what else was great? Having a break.
Having a Kit Kat.
NXT. Small time Bex. Nice. Ilya Dragunov wins a #1 contender match against Wesley. Carmelo Hayes comes out afterwards for a stare down. Absolutely. And Wesley does not take that win well, does he?
No,
No,
we'll
he
get onto
doesn't.
that later on. But, I mean, it's a good match between two good wrestlers. Booker T was very excited. I couldn't hear what Vic was saying at points because he was going, man.
All it was missing was a biscotti, wasn't it?
Biscotti!
What Vic was wearing?
Can't remember.
Not a smile.
It was something more colourful than usual. It wasn't your beige. It was like orange almost, I think. It was quite bright. I was like, oh.
Where's the respect?
Yeah,
Orange.
no.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh. That was my Taz impersonation. Anyway.
Oh, I thought it was a Wade Barrett impression. Oh.
Wade Barrett.
Say it again.
It's like, Orange, huh? Where's the respect? Huh. Huh.
It's good Wade, that, huh? So what were we going to say? About
The
that?
snap Germans of Ilya. There was plenty of them when plenty of pop and snap, followed by the German on the announce table, which I thought was a unique spot-alicious. There was a knee to the gut from Ilya. That's one of the most effective moves I've ever seen in professional wrestling.
Stops anything.
Yeah. Then we had Lee kicking out of a H-bomb to give it its title. Vic laughs and then goes, I'm not laughing. I just can't believe what I'm seeing.
But he was
But he
laughing.
was laughing.
He laughed at a H-bomb.
H-bomb, baby.
Disgusting.
Like Kevin Nash and The Undertaker, right?
Look at the adjective. Wait, no. An
H-bomb.
What?
That story of when...
What?
who was it? Someone had put an H-bomb from the 90s, a Halcyon thingy. Is it Halcyon? The drug?
Oh,
into
right.
into a young lady's drink.
Oh, God.
And they shaved her head, and then she was crying the next morning. Apparently, Undertaker came downstairs like after the night before. I don't think he was involved in the H-bomb bit. And Kevin Nash was like, "Get out the back door."
It's just a fun story from times gone by, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the police.
Ah, the good old
Police
days.
were interviewing. There's evidence. There's record of Kevin Nash saying this story on a shoot interview thingy. I've not just made that
I
up.
bet he regrets that. Probably regrets saying it more than he regrets the action. Jesus.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that story up,
No,
Ross.
no problem. There was a lovely like NXT Black and Gold era dramatic ending as well, with Ilya knocking down Wes throwing his last shot, but then Ilya just with a massive forearm to the back of the heat for the end. Good match.
Yeah, but more on that later on. But where's Vic Joseph with his little orange thing? Sadly tells us there's no
Don't laugh at Terry Spunk's downfall.
Terry Spunk.
yes.
When he does
Can't
hardcore
change his name.
when he does
no.
hardcore wrestling, it's Terry Spunk.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. fair.
Vic says, well, being serious, Booker, there's no known time frame
What are you laughing at?
He's had his skull bashed in.
for Von Wagner's return, and that he's undergoing specialist medical attention. He puts on a serious voice like this. Baron Corbin comes to the ring and calls out Bron Breakker. He says, I can't believe what you did to him. Last week was disgusting, seeing that violent action. That poor man and his poor head and his poor brain.
This had me.
You know what? And I'm like, okay, we're doing this then. Because we had to black out on TV. We couldn't even show it. And then he says, I'll tell you, Bron, exactly what I think of you. I thought you meant. That was so great. Oh, my God. Rebecca says, I don't care. I didn't to win your bloody approval, you idiot. He did to end Von's career. And Corbin isn't scared, saying he ended Kurt Angle's career at WrestleMania. And another former Olympic gold medalist career. Don't even say his name, we'll just move on, blah, blah, blah. Braun challenges Corbin to a match at No Mercy. Corbin agrees, and Braun tells him to warm his loved ones. Warn, not warm, bloody hell. Warn his loved ones. I think he should warm up as well, because he'll end his career too. Corbin slaps Breakker, and they have a pull-apart brawl. Oh.
This is a brilliant segment because
Yeah.
it had me hook, line, and sinker that Terry Spunk had turned Baron Corbin into a nice man for the first time ever. There was "You got table" chants. Come live still in the NXT shed.
Yep.
It was wonderful. And then that line just like saying, oh, what you did last week was freaking awesome. I was almost sick where I was sat. It's an interesting character turn from Braun as well, because he's turned into a bit of a pervert now, and he talks about like when he's beating someone up, like, ooh, I put him through the wall, all that sort of stuff. Corbin was so happy he was willing to pay Braun's fine from last week, which I thought was a funny touch as well. And then the meaty slaps at the end, you could really hear Corbin's making them cheeks wobble.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Thank you, Ross. You're so beautiful in your wordage. Then Drew Gulak, Charlie Dempsey, and Damon Kemp win a six-man tag match against JB, BJ, and Miles Bourne. After Miles betrays his new pals
What's the
and
point?
rejoins Gulak's stable.
Miles, there's nothing on the line here. You got to have the fair dame Fallon Henley. I said Henry there in your arms.
You're like,
they were
Jack, you got Henry in your brain.
Surfer.
They were falling in love when he saved her from the shoot attack from the rear.
Which,
but no,
by the way, was nowhere near her. Like,
oh, it was that close.
Oh, no.
It was inches away from taking her out.
Okay.
But yeah, Miles turns on the Cowboys for no reason.
Well, I don't know.
What was the reason?
He's dumb.
Yeah, because it wasn't like he was a mole. Because they were beating him up in the match. They were fighting each other for real. I don't know.
And there was no like moley things to either mole in the build up to the match. Like no.
Yeah, what's he going to tell him?
Nothing to find out about the Cowboys and Fallon Henry.
Maybe it's to
Henry.
prove himself, to get in their good graces, because they always bully him and stuff. Maybe it's to raise his standing in Gulak's stable. That's the only thing I think of.
I helped you super shooters win a match against some cowboys.
Because I thought the more interesting story was Fallon being the BJ of the scenario. Do you remember back in the day when BJ was falling in love? She could have been falling in love with Miles. I thought it was a much more interesting tale.
Oh my god, they've never done anything. I thought they were teasing him when even when BJ was like falling for Kiana James and everything, and it was all like she will break his heart in the end. But it's like I thought they was going to lead to him finding true love with Fallon Henley, and it just never happened. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
Well, she is his sister. But I tell you what, Brooks Jensen's spinning heel kick is fantastic. That's all that matters.
It's like his dad,
Yeah.
the star of WrestleMania 2000. Not genuinely, like.
Imagine when BJ whaps out the leaping leg drop off the top rope.
In my mind's eye,
With the flak jacket.
when Bull Buchanan does that leg drop off the top rope, he kicks his legs probably twice, but in my mind it's like 8 times. He's like,
Yeah.
it's
It's like he's an
amazing.
invisible bicycle all the way down.
He also does a step up off the. If Ospreay did that, we'd all be like, what?
Yep.
It's Bull Buchanan.
Yeah.
What?
Twice the size of Osprey.
Grab your bitches. In the end.
Grab your bulls.
It was
Wow.
iced tea, was it? Yeah.
And then they lost.
Oh, yeah, then they lost. Oh.
Just have to awkwardly walk backstage, like, oh, okay.
Has anyone ever asked a pimp if pimping is easy?
I don't know.
That's a question for the comments.
That'd be good.
Is
So I'm saying,
pimping easy?
Contrary to popular reports, pimping is hard. At Chase U, Andre Chase asked Delightful Hudson if he could reach out to Thea Hale. Delightful says that he and Thea share their locations on each of his phones because they're besties. However, he realizes that Thea has now turned her location off. We then cut dramatically to Thea hanging out with JC Jane at a college dorm party. Radical. A pair of jabronis try and flirt with JC, but end up mocking Thea for being young and needing Mr. Chase's permission for everything.
Yeah, well, they couldn't get into Chase U if they
Yeah.
They could never get in there. They'd be stuck in the schism or something, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Pair of whoppers.
They'll have to go to a polytechnic.
Aye.
JC stands up for Thea, and they end up beating up the guys, sending them running.
Their flirting was very telegraphed to set up the bit where they mock her for needing hold of everything. Because they go, hey, JC's like, oh, these guys are coming over in 3, 2, 1. And they get there and they're like, hey, ladies, so JC, what'd you get up to last night? And she's like, oh, I took Thea out. And they're like, you took it. It's so instant. It was badly written, in my opinion.
Yes, it's NXT.
Right.
It's a vignette backstage, yes.
Next week's going to be heartbreaking when we see Thea Hale looking like a JC Jane. That sounds like an actual sort of...
Next week, Thea Hale gets a piercing.
Yeah, she's going to go to a record
Yeah.
store and drink whiskey.
It's like Grease, the end of Grease, when Sandy gets all bad.
Imagine
Yep.
Andre's face.
Sandy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Chase, you do look a bit like the jock outfits in Grease, actually.
Yeah.
We'll
They
see
look
how it
proper
goes.
greasy.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm on board with Delightful Hudson.
knew you
now.
would be.
This was the segment I needed.
This was the one.
Because you can't fake location sharing, can you? That's a deeper bond in it. I only share my location with one person. That's my girlfriend. So
Right.
Aww.
Yeah. That's a deep
can't
bond I have.
fake
You
that.
can't fake that.
Okay, so now Duke's back. He's
Have
back.
you tried?
He's back in the good. He's
It's
back in the
been-
good book.
How do you know you can't fake it?
It's
Have you-
been months and months.
Huh?
How do you know you can't fake it?
We saw the phone. She turned it off.
But he could only be doing it to gain her trust so
Sorry.
that he still brings down Chase U from the inside.
That's what the negative me would have said.
Okay.
But I don't know.
He's won you back over.
That was the segment.
He's gone undercover, but
This has been-
he's there so long, he's like, sorry.
I'm a
actually,
believer.
This has been months now that Ross hasn't trusted Duke. Since before WrestleMania weekend, which is when he saved the university.
When he turned into Hulk Hogan and
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes in one
Yeah.
Australian package.
It was,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
He's a real
On the
Australian.
kickoff show.
And they didn't even announce that it was going to be on the kickoff show. They bumped
Shocking.
that moment to the kickoff show.
Appalling.
I know.
Laia Valkyria wins a short match against Dana Brooke.
Woof.
Phew.
It was Lyra is. It feels really harsh to say, but you can
Say
only
it.
say what you see.
Say
Say
it.
what you see there.
Yep.
Dana
An
Brooke.
Irish accent for Lyra.
Dana Brooke.
An incredibly strong Irish accent. Oh, God.
Lyra Valkyria is just so much like of a better professional wrestler than Dana Brooke. It's not
No,
even
that's
funny.
not necessarily. Like, she is very good, though. That doesn't say that Dana
Who?
is awful. Lyra.
But this is
Lyra's very
Dana,
good.
Dana's been there for 10 years now.
Yeah. I
Dana's
know.
at the Dabba-Kato level.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Dabba-Kato's got the excuse of,
But this is
Wait, what is his
evil.
excuse?
This is another step in the road Dana's heel. Like, she tried to attack her afterwards. And then Kalani
Yeah.
Jones.
and she couldn't even do that properly. Yeah, you're right.
She won off a big splash as well. After like Dana did one of the least she didn't put any effort into the Irish whip. She sort of went, I don't know.
Irish way.
Yeah.
She's been around forever and she stinks.
And the crowd is
She's like you too.
again me ending my
Oh no, sorry, God.
me ending me little thing against Dull Hudson. Also, we can put to bed now the rumors that there are plants in the NXT shed because
Really?
the endless chance of Dana sucks in this match.
Oh, she's a heel. She's a heel.
Oh no, that just means they've got eyes and ears.
There was a second example of the it was when Wesley was. We'll get on it later.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
they were doing the na-na-na-na-nas,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah, that's not the response we want, fans.
Yeah.
Can you shut up?
Yeah.
You're usually good. The NXT Women's Breakout Tournament is coming soon, and there's a lot of good talent on the show. But after following Dana Brooke match, I just went, oh no.
I don't know if you remember. I'm
Oh.
so excited for this because the last women's breakout tournament, we had those vignettes that was like, which it was the first time we saw Kiana James. It was like businesswoman.
Oh, yeah.
That was it, wasn't it?
Redhead woman.
Yes.
Yeah. Santina Morales' daughter.
Groupier.
Yeah,
Lord
Lord
Mayor's
Mayor's
Groupier.
Yeah. So I can't wait for a whole new host of very one-note characters.
It's been a while, hasn't it? These characters are mostly established.
Yeah.
The silly news monkey upstairs, Aiden, as we just went for a nice can of fizzy lifting drink there, Maffew.
Ooh,
You let us know there's a story there. A PW Insider source from within AEW has said that apparently Jade Cargill will go to NXT. And how fine a debut would it be to see her in the breakout tournament with a one-dimensional gimmick?
It'd be great. It's like, hi, my name's so-and-so, and I'm a fire... And Jade just punches him. That's the gimmick every week before they even get there.
Picture what gimmick Jade Cargill would be given.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm a tall...
Jade the milk woman. She's gonna be
Yeah, that's it.
She's the modern milk. She's going to be delivering milk.
I'm going to milk the workers. Yeah, I can't wait for it. In a backstage interview, Eddie Thorpe is sick of Dijak's cheating ways. I swear Eddie Thorpe's earrings get bigger every week. They're massive, aren't they? Dijak appears the monitor behind Eddie. He's in the NXT wilderness, Maffew, Jesus Christ, wilderness, where we usually see Eddie hang out. Dijak takes off his belt, and I swear he was about to take a slash on Eddie Thorpe's sacred tree. Instead, he gives his nearby tree a damn good thrashing, like John Cleese's car.
It was proper Faulty Towers, yeah.
Aye.
Because he was marking his territory like a dog.
Yeah, you know how a dog does that? It's not with a belt. But back in the arena, Eddie is furious. He's like, my tree.
One of the worst segments in the history of NXT.
No.
Everything Dijak does, apart from his kinky sex dungeon, which Ilya Dragunov loves, everything else is so, like, I bet it looks gnarly when it's written down. But in practice, it's awful.
Yeah, I agree.
He did no damage to the tree. He's just going...
He's a fully grown
Turns
man.
out you can't whip a tree with a... Like,
Hello, imagine if you were just walking your dog in the local park and there was a 6'7" man whipping a tree with his belt.
You're like, Dijak, Alan.
I just love that Eddie's moan as well, like, oh, he beat me this way, then he beat me that way. Why don't you beat him that way then, you silly wazard?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm not very good.
Been watching Takeshi's Castle this week, that's why I had to throw the word
new one.
Wazik in there. Yeah, the new one's not very good because Ramesh and Tom, the commentators, they sound bored.
Tom who?
Tom Davies, the big Cockney glasses.
Yeah.
They sound really bored and fed up to be there. So I had to go back on YouTube and Craig Charles.
Yeah.
You Wazik.
Yeah.
It's a good one, is it? Was it?
Yeah.
Where we at? Dominic Mysterio runs into Carmelo Hayes backstage. They bicker about whose title reign will be longer. They agree to a match next week. Elsewhere, Kiana James interrupts a Becky Lynch interview and says she doesn't want her here. Becky says she'll whoop Kiana's ass once she becomes NXT Women's Champion. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the first match after the title win had even been set up before the title had even been won.
Yep.
Disrespected Tiffy Stratz.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well, this
Disgusting.
But even when I was watching it in real time, because I avoided spoilers, I was like, oh, no, I did news that morning, I knew. Actually, I thought I was going to say this set off an alarm bell, but it didn't. It confirmed what I already knew.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have to now run off, and I warned the lads I needed to before the pod. I'm not just dropping that on you.
It's the news of this title.
What
match
you
being
can
set
tell
up.
us
I know,
this.
yeah.
What's happening?
I can't believe that the next booking decision is going to happen.
No.
But yeah, cheers
Well,
everyone.
thank you as always, Jack. Take care of yourself. Does Joe want to sit in? Did he watch NXT this week?
I watch no wrestling.
Joe would love to, but he doesn't want to stand us up. That's a good lad, Joe. What a nice lad.
At least he's honest.
Can you put that there to
Of
make it
course
look
I
like
can.
Papa Jack is giving his opinion? He's not done out for months this week. Now he's just bashing Ariel Hawani. Fantastic. Look at him going for it.
Groin nearly went there, putting that there. Papa Jack bringing on a Wagamama. Anyway, Becky Lynch wanted a crumb at the table or something, she said. She wanted a crumb. That's all she wanted. But it's the bit at the start of the promotion, like, it feels good to be home. Why does she have to say that?
To make it like mean something.
I
and
know.
the crowd cheer.
We were there. We watched the Becky Lynch era of NXT.
Yeah.
That wasn't her home. She was a...
If only she'd come back doing the river dance.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that'll got the crowd cheering. Almost as loudly as Tyler Bate beating Axiom in the Global Heritage Invitational. We talked about the crowd earlier, not getting with the program. Chanting Power Ranger at Axiom.
Yes. The
How
plants are
old are
dead.
these people? Oh, just Power Rangers now.
They're fully grown cool men who watch wrestling, Maffew. Like us. Cool
look
men.
Look at that jackass in the mask. What? Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Bush is interviewed at the official NXT Global Heritage Invitational watch party. He says everybody knows about their long history and nobody brings out the bruise in him like Tyler Bate. Talks about the match of the year they had one time and it's going to be great. He's going to go, bleh. Crowd didn't make any noise.
Butch, when he's in NXT, is not Butch. He's Pete Dunne. He was wearing a nice plaid jacket.
Yep.
He looked lovely. He was speaking about I was Tyler's first opponent when he was 15. Speaking about that watch party as well, Joe Coffey, we need to have words with him because he was sat there in the front row with a massive stein. A massive stein of ale. That man cannot stop drinking alcohol, and it's becoming a bit of an issue, it's clear. Anyway, Axiom Super Spanish Fly into a... So I've written down the sequence of moves, right? A Super Spanish Fly into a kick out, into an arm bar, into a power bomb, into a Tyler Driver, which was reversed into a massive lariat, into a Tyler Driver that ended the match. That was... Whoa! Je ne sais quoi va va voom.
Yeah.
And also Noam Dar looked lovely dressed as an elephant.
All this serious wrestling happening, all these big bang bongs happening, and then there's Noam Dar as an elephant.
Bing bang bong, sing sang song, ding dang dong. UK Hun, I believe it goes off the drag races.
That's right. I don't want to do the full thing, but thank you very much for it. But yes.
Oh, this is net. It's heartbreaking what's coming up
Joe
next.
Gacy and Arthur Ryan meet at the Spooky Tree. I don't know, is that like east or west of the Eddie Thorpe's tree?
It
While
must
they're
be
doing this
this-
in the background, could I hear Dijak?
Rumours have it that was the tree that Dijak had seen to.
That would be an awkward. That'd be great. Oh, wrong tree.
Everything's
Anyway, they meet the Spooky Tree. Reigns says that 4 roots may have become 2, but there's still room to find more followers. Gacy says, nah. Now
It's
they
rotten.
stand.
It's withering away. So Ava Reigns gagging to stay in the schism because she knows that's the only thing she's got to keep her on TV. Whereas Joe Gacy does not want to be with Ava Reigns anymore, so he wants to say, get away, see you later, go out.
I'm still here. You're like, oh,
Damn it.
Oh, no. They sound more isolated than ever before. They put their palms on the tree, just left of where the big belt mark was. Because, yes, it's come out in the news. Obviously, it was announced, well, everyone knew about what was going to happen at
3 or
some
4
point.
months ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Grizzled young vets said, would we request our release? And they went, no, we're going to keep you around until the end of your contract. And he goes, well, that'll be around this time. They beat the Creeds, which is surprising, but then they had the rematch in the cage a few weeks ago, which wasn't to get rid of the Grizzled young vets. It was just to have the Creeds come back on NXT.
Yes.
So they've done that.
Yes.
So they've gone.
Yes. And I'm excited to
That's
hear
it.
Zach Gibson cut a Zach Gibson promo for the first time in a couple of years because that's one of the more big fans of NXT. Applaud a lot of what they do with Terry Spunk and people like that. But shoehorning Zach Gibson with a gimmick like that where he can't cut his promos that only he can cut was a strange decision. Can't get me words out. Getting emotional.
Yep, fully. Yeah, that me too. They were doing less and less of the stuff like with the eye and dressing up and be like, yes, brother.
But when
No.
they spoke, it was still like, oh, I'm still part of the tree. Oh.
But like the last few months, it's been like, well, what are you going to do? Get rid of us. Someone's watching.
I wonder where they're going to go. I think Impact would be a nice starting point for them, if any of the big, the bigger promotions, I guess.
That'd be nice. I mean, FTR have done an open invitational.
Ding dong.
Hello. Oh yeah.
It's Zach.
FTR are like, oh look, it's the spooky guys. Shut up, you Dave Meltzer wankers. Whatever. Oh, looking forward to that.
You sit at home reading your newsletters.
That's it. All it'll take is one promo from him, and that's it. That's it. No one's going to think about that stupid gimmick. Trick Willie and Carmelo Hayes meet in the locker room, and Carmelo reassures Trick that he'll always have his back. Oh. Trick offers to be in Carmelo's corner against Dom next week, but Hayes says he's okay. In the background, we see Wesley clearing out his locker. Yeah.
Yep. We learn a bit more later on, but yeah, it looked like he was desolate, wasn't he? He was heartbroken. He was just packing everything up, and he had a little suitcase with him as well. It was the full whammy. But I guess Trick was he felt a bit forgotten, didn't he, by Mello? But they're still tight.
Yeah.
But that was not the main headline from this segment.
Yes.
There it was Wesley doing his thing in the background.
They could have just gone blah 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 blah. Wesley.
But I guess we learned that Trick is going to be there for Mello next week when he faces Doughty Dom, because you assume the JD will be there as well. The JD, not a JD.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
The
isn't it?
Judgment Day.
The Creeds win a tag match against Edris Enofe and Malak Blade. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo stop making out for long enough just to taunt them from the platform while outside the ring. Hank and Tank arrive only to be ambushed by Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. This tag division sure is rowdy.
They are.
You said it, Jack.
They all want the tag team titles, and it's just a continuation from last week's thing. The only thing I've got written down here was Edris's bump. He took off a lariat from Julius. It was rigid. He sort of took it really high up on his shoulders and like lower down his neck, but his body was like an arrow. So it was really rigid. But yeah, the match was all right. Edris and Malik were doing slightly less flippy stuff and more like power-based moves, which I thought was an interesting change. But it fit because they're both jacked brothers.
Yeah, it makes sense. It could be feeling with guys like Garza and Carrillo and other people who do the flippy stuff. It's like, well, got to be better or different than, not the same as.
Yes. Not a case of the Action Andretti's.
Exactly.
Aye. What's the opposite of the Action Andretti's?
Being good.
The Eric Rowans.
Oh, sorry.
Being jacked. Real jacked.
Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria are nice to each other backstage because they're both from the Emerald Isle.
They are. Both Irish.
That's what that means.
Yes. Seamless podcasting here.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
that's all it was. It was like, oh yeah, you're really good, you keep killing the game.
Yeah.
That was all the
You're
segment
zig
was.
and I'm zag.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Roxanne Perez talks to members of the locker room about how good the last women's breakout tournament was for her career.
What a bitch, yeah? What a bitch. Oh, look, I won the tournament. I've gone on and done this and I've done this. And then she said, chaos is inevitable, Maffew. Who talks like that?
That's the type of thing Booker T would say. He's like, oh, these women, they all hate each other. Like, she's confronted by Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice about her new attitude. Lola says that once she's taken care of Perez, she plans to enter the tournament and win.
Yeah, Roxanne looked like a right nerd against Elektra and the other lady. I've forgotten her name already, even though you just said it.
Exactly.
Aye, what was her name?
Lola.
Lola Vice. Yeah, right
Lola
nerd.
Vice.
It's not Lola Vice.
Yeah, it is.
It is Lola Vice.
No, I'm laughing at the name because it is like, wow, Lola Vice.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy names, Nathan Fraser with a lovely new intro with the lights go down and
Never slow
flames go round. They go, wow, it looks really nice. And he goes, never slow down. Runs out, and the reaction sounds like this. Thank you. Beats former Open the Dream Gate champion Akira Tozawa in the Global Heritage Invitational. And after the watch party, Joe Coffey says he's going to slap Delightful Hudson about next week and win the whole competition. Duke interrupts and plans to spoil those plans and even says, I've just done the sums and it turns out that blah, 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 blah. It's going to be a three-way.
It is, yeah. Because Nathan, in the match before the promo there, Nathan running the ropes and doing a shoot drop kick was really cool because he went really quick and didn't decapitate himself this week, which was nice to see.
Well done.
There was nothing much else to the match itself, but it was an impressive finish from Nathan where he does a superplex into what Vic called a boom. Whatever the boom, it's like
He just like doing
gold
that with
dust spinny thing, like suplex spinny. I forget what it was called. Suplex, standard suplex.
Yeah.
Spin around. Final cut.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Maybe it was the final cut, yes.
Whatever that was called.
I actually forgot because Goldust had so many trademark moves towards the end, didn't he? God.
Yeah.
Yeah, final cut. Well done.
Does that off the superplex, which was nice to see. And then I was joking slightly about Joe Coffey being an alcoholic earlier, but in this, I've written my first note for this promo is Coffey looks hungover. Because he's sort of like he's got glassy eyed and staring off into the distance when the promo starts. So is he an alcoholic in gimmick? I've got no idea. But yeah, just the way they spell it out, saying if I beat you next week, there'll be a three-way tie for the lead in Group B. So Dull is going to win on that show, which we never watch.
Yeah, right. And I'm thankful they did that because they, even though we watch this every week, it's like, okay, cool. I'm not really paying attention to who's got this many points or whatever and stuff like that. I'm just like, just to do the matches. It might be one of the reasons why the reaction's a bit more subdued. It's like, oh, you know what I like? Wrestling. You know what I don't like? Doing math.
Yeah. Yeah, but also Dull has gone back to being Dull now because he's given himself a nickname. Much like Paul Ince used to call himself the Governor because no one else thought he was worth anything. Dull now calls himself the Spoiler because of his what you would think is going to be a win on Friday.
I'm not calling him
He's
that.
the Spoiler. Why?
Because he's on the back of a car. I don't know. In a backstage interview, Mustafa Ali admits his victory over Dragon Lee was tainted by Dominic Mysterio's crooked officiating, but denies being the bad guy. Lee turns up and complains about being screwed. Ali says once he defeats Dom for the title, he'll give Lee the first shot, and Lee's like, that guy's a dick.
It's really good heel work from Mustafa Ali because he was obviously doing the honourable thing by dropping Dom in last week's after the screwy pin, but he didn't mean it. He just rizzle-razzled everybody because he is a bad man. He's a heel. And he's been a very good, sarcastic heel. I enjoyed his promo.
Yeah.
Up the Mustafa.
I'm glad that people are like, oh, he is a bad guy. It's like Johnny Hunky on Twitter. It's like, no, I'm a bad guy now. Do you get it? Is it too subtle?
No.
He just dumb. An emotional Wesley leaves the building, saying he's done with NXT forever. No.
More evidence that the plants are no more.
I'm sure they will look, the crowd's going to be like, oh no, Wes, come back, stay. Crowd's like, nah.
Yeah. Get out.
We're not in this. We're not in it this week.
It was heartbreaking though, because he's saying Ilya was the better man tonight. If I'm not going to No Mercy, I'm going home. His wife's there to greet him at the door. He's finished, and all you hear is the crowd taking the piss.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that no good Wesley. Oh yeah, who likes him?
He's got to go to the main roster, surely.
Absolutely.
If he's not going to win the title, he's just spinning his wheels now in NXT.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. The NXT's taken enough from the main roster. Got to give back at some point, right? As he leaves, Blair Davenport is jumped by a mysterious hooded assailant. It's revealed to be Ninja Tori from... it's Gigi Dolan.
It's more evidence that NXT, the powers that be, watch this podcast because we're moaning last week about moany Gigi Dolan, always moaning about everything.
Yep.
Someone breathes, oh, why are you breathing like that? I had a tough upbringing. Now she's just beating up people, which is nice to see. Yeah, more of
I'll
this.
give something to complain about.
Exactly.
She's an old
Bosh.
And in the main event, Becky Lynch beats Tiffy Stratz to become the new NXT Women's Champion.
I'm disgusted.
I was kind of...
So, I can see, obviously, from a business perspective, it's on Becky Lynch as one of the biggest, names in wrestling. Seeing her with the NXT logo on her shoulder all the time is fine. But Tiffy barely got going in her reign. And she obviously is going to be the future of professional wrestling, we've said for a long time on this podcast. And it made me feel a bit angry when Becky won, even though it makes sense from a business perspective.
Of course.
But I'm a fan, not a businessman. I don't get 5 million bonuses for signing a deal with TKO. Bollocks.
Exactly.
The match was a fantastic big old dick swinging contest at the start. Like Becky Lynch was trying to do, she was doing very nice cartwheels to just sort of one-up Tiffy Stratz. The picture-perfect swanton bomb from Tiffy Stratz might even be better than a finisher, the BME, the best moonsault ever. There was
the prettiest moonsault ever. How dare you?
The PME, the prettiest moonsault ever. There was a shoot Russian leg sweep off the middle rope, off the Brett rope from Becky Lynch, which just added to the ding-dong battle. The leg drop on the announce table, I'm sure we're making its way to your videos.
No, I don't think it was prepped.
No, you think so? It looked like a stiff landing for Becky on a tailbone.
Ooh.
I think I broke my tailbone.
Because her tailbone's not her gimmick. That's Von Wagner's.
Yeah. Oh!
She watches this.
Do you reckon that was on purpose then? The only man who can break the tables is Terry Spunk.
That's right.
You've been tabled.
Yeah. Every of her wrestlers hitting it with sledgehammers. We kind of did. Only Cum can break it.
Bron Breaker's got the and the jackhammer, isn't it? That's
She's using Baron Corbin's head.
I thought there was a lovely finish as well with the PME like failing into a roll roll through and then the manhandle slam. But again, it just it doesn't feel right, Maffew. It doesn't feel right.
I agree. It's as a business decision, it was a good one. They are getting very high numbers at NXT. So like 800,000 or whatever. Obviously, we don't really care about who cares about ratings, but when there's a bigger bump, and they're obviously trying to get a lot of people's eyes on NXT because of the amount of guest stars, Dominic, Wesley, etc. People aren't doing anything, Corbin, and treating it like how ECW and Sci-Fi used to be. It was like, well, you guys have got nothing for you on the main roster right now. Do you want to start off to NXT for a bit and just get long cooked?
Yeah.
Long cooked?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Slow cooked.
Slow cooked, there we go.
Yeah, slow cooked. Because I saw that, I think someone shared this who was like reputable in the TV ratings game. Ooh. But it was like over 1 million were tuned in for because there was like an 8-minute spillover at the end of NXT. Okay. So the spillover, which I know might be people tuning in for the next show. I don't know what's on after NXT on a Tuesday. But yeah, more than 1 million people saw that ending, I think I'm right in saying.
Oh. Well, that's nice, and that's what they've been trying to get for a while. Yeah. And the thing going around, like, no, we want lots more people to watch NXT. It's no longer just a training thing. So
yeah, it makes you wonder who's going to beat Becky now. Surely it's not going to be Lyra Valkyria. Surely not. After that little promo backstage for both being Irish.
I mean, Becky's way too high up to be like having a little caretaker reign. She's not a Dolph Ziggler, so it's like I assume it's just going to be a 3-way where Tiff pins somebody else. That would make more sense. Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
But another thing to point out is just how good Tiff Stratz got in such a short space of time.
Yeah, she didn't look out of place there against WrestleMania main eventer, Becky Lynch.
Yeah. So a lovely main event. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, because we actually watch NXT. We're like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, for main roster fans, it's like when Goldberg came back and beat Kevin Owens.
Yes.
It's exactly the same as that. That's how we feel about Tiffy Stratz losing to Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever said on this podcast, including Wagamama. Including that as well.
Aye. Oh, Goldberg does like a Wagamama now and again.
Yeah, probably.
AEW Dynamite. Mathwell, Jacob Friedman. That's good. I like that.
Ah, yeah.
Why does he say that? Well, you will see. Ricky Starks tries to help Big Bill win the opening match against John Moxley, but Bryan Danielson evens the odds. The bastard. Moxley wins, and Claudio helps fight off the bad guys afterwards. Of course he does.
He does, aye. Large William was moving around that ring like there was no tomorrow. His burst of pace for his splash thingy in the corner was shades of Nathan Fraser. That's how quick he was moving across that ring. I enjoyed Big Bill getting Moxley's blood and putting it on like lipstick and then frolicking around the ring in a reference I'm sure I'm not getting, but I'm sure that was a reference to something. Was it a reference to something?
I don't think so, no. I think it was
Joel, any films where someone gets blood and puts it on their lips and sort of frolics around the ring? Let us know in the comments down
There
below.
you go. Duh, what do you mean you haven't seen dodgy film? Ooh.
Mox does this massive shoot superplex where you can clearly see him sort of wrenching Bill over for this, like sort of a deadlift kind of thing. And then Bill does an impressive boss man slam, continuous good moving around the ring. I like the finish with Mox. Bill tried to pick up Mox, but then Mox locking in the sort of triangle choke. It was nice to see. So my main criticism of the Orange Cassidy reign was it felt like all the matches ending with a roll up. So to see Moxley so early in his reign ending it in a different way was nice to see. Because you don't see him doing it with the triangle chokes all the time, do you?
No, you do not.
No, you don't. Also, Ricky Stark shouting, "You broke my pearl necklace." Lovely, because he did. He snapped his pearl necklace.
That's one of those expressions that's just gone. It's just, you can't take it seriously anymore, can you?
Yeah, well, imagine your man being called Pearl. Imagine going to high school, because that was my life for a few 3 or 4 years.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, fantastic
I'll tell you what, Christian
scenes.
would have loved wrestling you. Promos write themselves. Anyway,
Is everything all right? Can you take a break?
no, I've got my notes. I emailed myself, and I just got an email saying your payment's been declined. I'm like, oh, it's a fake email. You know that bit shocker. Oh, Jesus Christ, was it? Wait, hang on. Just everything looks bad on the things. Like, hang on, why does that look like a JPEG? That can't be right. So, back to reality. A concerned Adam Cole warns Roddy Strong that Samoa Joe could break his neck. Roddy is flabbergasted. I love that word. That Cole suddenly cares. He says he'll beat Joe, then beat MGF because he's a wrestling legend.
It's the way
he's a bitch.
The way he lays on it thick. Oh, now you care about my neck health. Neck health. Yeah, the little emphasis put on the wrestling legend bit at the end of the promo as well. Roddy Strong is knocking it out the park.
He certainly is.
Put an accent on for that, but there we go.
Famously Irish, Roderick Strong. There we go.
For the Boston Celtics.
Sorry. Don Callis cuts a promo on Takeshita. He says that in Japan, when you're the best wrestler in the promotion, they call you the ace. And Takeshita is the best ace of all time. He also calls him the alpha for beating Kenny Omega twice in a row, the bastard. Callis says that their next target is Kota Ibushi and unveils a painting of Ibushi cowering while Takeshita brandishes a sword and Callis stabs the painting right through Ibushi's face.
Lovely. It makes sense, the nice little tie into sort of Jericho's old nickname being the Alpha, and he's like, oh, not like Jericho, because obviously Callis and Jericho got a little, well, I don't know if it's still going on, but it did for a little bit. He called a cuck was used, which I never thought I'd hear on AEW, but there we go. What's that? Has the podcast stopped?
I was like, oh, I have nothing to add to that, really.
No, I
Sorry.
just never thought I'd hear it.
You know, you're like, can I say anything? Have I got anything? I've got nothing. I'll stare at Ross.
But I think the rivalry now, it maybe feels a bit like a Chris Jericho one, because obviously Takeshita's beaten Kenny Omega twice. Well, once was a bit rizzle-razzly, once was conclusively. Now it looks like he's going to have to maybe go through Kota as well. Kenny will come back, win the last match, and because of that, Kenny's won the feud, which is a bit Chris Jericho of Kenny Omega if that happens. But we don't know if that will happen yet.
It's a good point. But it does mean more Don Callis segments.
It does.
I love him just saying just rotten things like, I never really had the whole empathy thing. It's like, what a dick you are.
His gash is not closing up, is it?
And it's good because he's bald. He's got this big gash. He just looks like a human penis, which is so fitting for him.
I never thought about that, but there you go.
This is wrestling journalism.
It is wrestling journalism. Lovely spray tan on the penis as well.
Yes. Well, you know. Backstage, Brian and Claudio issue a challenge to Starks and Big Bill for Saturday. Ray Fenix shows up and wants the International Championship, but is held back from Moxley by security. While this is all going on, we see Eddie Kingston approach Claudio back. That's lovely. And warn him that time is ticking on his Ring of Honor title reign.
Big, strong laugh from Eddie. The first bit was a bit kind of, not random, but you know what I mean? Just sort of like kind of thrown together. I'll just do something to set up a match for Collision, which is the tag match between Brian and Claudio and Ray and Penta. That's set for Collision. And then, Eddie's stand-up. He knows he's going to win, doesn't he? His big hometown. He knows it's going to happen.
Yep.
No uppercuts at all.
Oh. Again, nothing to add to that. Sorry, some of these bits have been like, they'll happen this week. It was a weird one, AEW. There was some good stuff, plenty of it, obviously.
But it's one of those sleeper episodes where everything's being used to set up the big thing next week.
Yeah. And I have nothing to add to it.
No.
Hook. Orange Cassidy interrupts a Hook interview to ask, why he's so mad? His only game. He's got a title. Cassidy laments he doesn't have one anymore. And Hook calls him a great champion. They have a fist bump. He's still tired.
He is still tight. It was a nice human promo from both men. But I'm just walking around here and saying who go mad about something. You were a great champion. Thanks, man. You are too. Nice human promo.
Yeah.
A stone's throw away from an 80s cocaine promo in the WWF.
Is that the opposite? Like,
Yeah.
these lads are doing night nurse. But yeah, right. It made them human, which is a thing that sometimes can be missing from wrestling, especially AEW.
Yeah.
So, Tony Storm wins a 4-way number 1 contender match against Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and Nyla Rose. Shida is noticeably angry afterwards.
That was nice because even though they were teaming together like in the build to All In, they were still a bit like, I used to hate you. I guess I still do hate you. So it was nice to see that continued. Tony was weird seeing her get like an Outcasts entrance because I thought she clearly left last week. If not the week before.
Yeah, why we...
She just mustn't have a theme.
It's almost like AEW doesn't really care about the women's division. And she does. We saw it.
Yeah.
Hey, was it a special theme? Maybe it was then. It was a reference we got. I thought it was a new theme.
She had God Save the Queen, didn't she, at Wembley? Which disgusted
Oh,
people.
yeah. She can't have that every week. That's what I'm talking about.
That would be fun if she did use every week.
Every week she uses it.
We had the stuff because Tony's character work in the match was good where Nyla Rose does like a big move and then does like a pose, but then Tony gets in front of her just to do her pose because she's stealing the spotlight.
That's right.
I just thought it was the right result. Tony's the person who should beat Saraya because it's clear, it's harsh to say, but Saraya can't wrestle maybe as often as a champion maybe should do. I know the champions don't. There are some champions,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to say Roman Reigns, but that's an example of champions who don't wrestle very often, but that's through choice maybe rather than necessity. So it feels unfair to have Saraya in that situation.
Yeah, look, we've got what we wanted, which is like, yay, English person won the title in England.
wasn't asked, were you?
And that's like, all right, cool, next. Then, can't wait for Tony to beat her for it. Jericho and Sammy come out ahead of their match next week. Jericho talks about seeing the potential in Sammy and telling TK to sign him for AEW. Sammy thanks Jericho for changing his life. Yeah, he did. And says he didn't want to get into wrestling to be a sidekick. They argue about whether Sammy is good enough to beat Jericho and move to the next level before having an intense handshake. This is all nice and stuff, but we've been at this point for a while now. I'll be like, all right, hurry up. Arthur Ashe.
Yeah. The most interesting part of it for me was like dating back October 2018. That's when Chris Jericho was recruiting people for AEW. I thought was interesting. That early.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah,
NWA 70 was in October 2018. But the whole storyline doesn't, Sammy was like, I need to beat you to get out from your shadow. But then I'm going to go and win tag team championships with you, Chris. If I do beat you. Yeah. That's like the opposite thing that should happen. Yeah. Which makes me think...
No, that makes sense because I want to be equal, not a sidekick. The tag team, it's not Jericho and his mate.
Wants to get it over him. Be his shadow causing thing. His big
shadow causing thing.
Sammy's gone from being in the shadow to being the cause of the shadow.
Yeah.
But the mention of Daniel Garcia makes me think that maybe Garcia gets involved and him and Sammy razzle Jericho, maybe. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if Jericho eats another loss on a big show. Because that wouldn't be like him to have that many in a row, surely.
No, but he's a good guy, Jericho, reading the internet. He's like, I'm losing a lot. All right. Action Andretti, one win, number 2. We've seen an interview from last week. So, obviously, he wasn't on any this week then. Of MJF correctly guessing that Strong and Joe would make it the tournament final. He says they're ready for either man and then does the exact Steiner math word for word.
What a mark, eh?
Yeah.
What a filthy mark.
Nerds.
Yeah, he knew it word for word as well. Not even I know that. And I'm useless.
I was thinking, maybe I could do it, but, with prep.
You could do the first couple of lines.
Yeah. Say, all men are created equal. But look at me and Samoa Joe. See, that statement is not true. So you normally go one-on-one with another wrestler. You got a 50-50 at best chance. No, not bad. 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal. So you got to take... it's already...
That shows how big of a mark MJF is.
I've got 103 quality... See, you get one little bit what number is it then? Because it's a math equation. If you get the first number, you're like, no, whatever.
To memorize all that is impressive, though. I'm sure there's lots of people who can claim that
you can't beat me, so I'm going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 53.
It's Meltzer's asked if he would sacrifice. That's all that matters. Yeah. I enjoyed his little jibes at Roddy as well, call him a wet blanket and a third wheel. And shake it off, Roddy, you bland bitch.
Yep.
Not mincing his words was nice, but it was all about the style promo.
He said, Samoa Joe, get it into your big fat skull. We see Hangman Page beats Brian Cage despite interference from Swerve Strickland. Hangman argues with Swerve on the microphone afterwards, setting up a match for Wrestle Dream. Cage and Prince Nana attack Hangman from behind, but the Young Bucks save the day with some super kicks.
Thank God.
Yeah, oh, phew. Oh.
It was a shame to see Prince Nana not being able to dance during Brian Cage's entrance because it's not a bop, as the kids would call it, I think. I thought this was like the 100th singles match between Hangman and Cage we'd seen, but it turns out it was just the third.
Wow, was it?
Yeah, it is just the third on
They had
TV.
a match on the pay-per-view, and then did they have another TV one then? Or?
They did it in the build-up to the match. It was just those two matches they showed in the when they were doing the entrances.
they did have one build-up.
But yeah, it was just as we'd come to expect from these two. It was a good ding-dong battle. Hangman does a 619, which I didn't think I'd see. He was like, yeah, I really did that. I don't know why I put that voice on, but there we go. He's not Goofy the dog.
Oh, God, he's not beefing with Rey Mysterio now, is he?
Prince Nana was able to dance when Swerve came out and the camera got it, which was lovely to see. Brian Cage is German. From the apron to the inside of the ring from the Brett rope should be his finisher because it was amazing to see. And then the little promo at the end there. It should be a good match.
Yeah.
I hope they get more promo time in the build to it as well.
Yeah, it's nice seeing the Deadeye get the win as well, because you often see that get the end of match. But
Yeah.
So I think Brian Cage is just the dude that loses to Hangman Page because their names are similar.
It's like Lex Luthor
Beating
and
Lex-
Superman. He's the Krypton. No, sorry. I was more of a Spider-Man
You're
boy.
doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good, though. Yeah.
Up the Parker.
Up the spiders. Daniel Garcia is doing his little dance backstage. Don Callis tries to entice him into Don Callis' family, but Garcia just dances away.
Now it's hard to interpret the dance because he gave it a little like hand gesture as well to say like, oh, I'm not accepting your offer. But you know, it could be the aggression and the passion in the dance. It could have been like a mating call. I reckon, like, you know, when peacocks put their things up.
I've seen enough Attenborough to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was just maybe it could be one of those things where when he does that, he's a bit turned on and wants to join the family. But I do think he'll get involved in the finish of Sammy and Chris.
Do you think he only works when he's dancing? I want to hire you. Don Garcia stops dancing. Oh, no, don't. With Christian Luchasaurus watching on, Darby Allin and Nick Wayne beat Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. Then after the bell, Christian complains about Darby and Sting's win over him in Wembley, saying he didn't have his usual tag partner.
His regular tag partner, Maffew. Could that be Adam Copeland?
Ooh.
Sexton Hardcastle?
Corner.
Damon, what was his name? Damon
Hardcastle, I think.
Was it Damon Hardcastle?
Something like that.
Damon Stryker? Maybe? I can't remember. Edge.
Edge, yes. He wants a rematch next week, himself and Luchasaurus versus Darby and Sting. What did he say about his mom? Christian complains Nick's mom not posting enough bikini pics on Instagram.
Yeah, there's two issues with Nick Wayne's mom's Instagram. It's the lack of bikini pictures, and also there's too much talk about Darby and Sting's win in front of the biggest crowd ever at Wembley at 81,035 back a couple of weeks ago. Just the way he laid it out like that was really funny. But as for the match, we had Daddy Magic getting the Brother Love pop throughout the match on the apron when he's waiting for the tag. Just the cool AF move, I think the kids would say, with the double moonsault and the coffin drop at the same time off the same turnbuckle was good by the lads. But it was all about Christian and what could potentially happen next week. Do you reckon you know how they had Edge, Brood Edge? Do you reckon you'd get away with trademarking with AEW Edge? Elite Edge.
Oh, just calling it like Morrison. Yeah. Kimson calling himself, yeah.
I'm trying to make Edge an elite one word and I can't do it in my head. I'm too tired.
Edge dub. Oh, no, that's terrible.
Oh, no, goodness me.
Strike that from the record.
All Edge wrestling.
That's cheesy enough to
He's just posting edgy opinions on Twitter.
I don't think women should vote. Oh my God, it's all elite wrestling.
It's all Edge
I
wrestling.
messed it up, thank you. Samoa Joe beats Roddy Strong to become the #1 contender. After the match, he tells MJF he's going to take everything from him. Joe leaves, and Cole comes out to check on Strong, who pretends to be more hurt than he is.
It was really interesting, that. Like, what's happening there? Are they trying to,
hello, friend.
yeah, they try to lure Cole into being like a big old softy, then wham! They'll attack him. I don't know.
He just wants his friend back. That's
Yeah.
what he said. So he's like, oh, my friend's here. Yeah, my neck fell off. The Kingdom blame Cole and then tell him to leave. Joe reappears and chokes out Cole to send MJF a message. They were doing a lot near the end, but it worked. But yeah, it's like Roddy Strong versus Samoa Joe. I'm like, oh, we're doing this again. The good old days of Ring of Honor 0405. Just wow. And it was lovely. We knew what was going to be happening. For the chance Roddy Strong was going to be winning, but we thought maybe, it wasn't like the Penta Joe match. You're like, oh, maybe Strong could win. It'll be all right. But then it's like, come on.
Yeah, was it? maybe they didn't go like hell for leather, but why would you when it's the big show next week? Obviously, they both laid in all that stuff. Like Samoa Joe's chops were gnarly, but again, it was just all about the ending, which I think maybe is why the match was a bit like not subdued's not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say. It wasn't like all the guns and whistles.
Yeah, but like as Brock Lesnar said, didn't need to be, did it?
But it's just interesting where they're going to go with like. Because they catch it on camera wonderfully. The camera work was good for this spot for the first time in a while. I say that, not the first time. But, they miss a lot.
True.
Where Roddy's just clearly like, I'm a bit sore, but it's all right. But he sees Adam, he's like, oh! Hits the deck straight away. So where are they going to go with this? Because it feels like the way Roddy's going, he wants Adam Cole dressed in like a saucy nurse's outfit, trying to nurse him back to health. Or is that fan fiction I've written off the top of my head by myself? I don't know.
Off the top of your head.
Oh,
I've
lovely.
seen that. Hey, wait, what's all this?
Stop it.
Chapter 9.
No.
Let me take off this sexy neck brace of yours.
But it was a good end of the show, I thought.
Yeah.
Because obviously Samoa Joe chokes out Adam Cole as well, which makes you think that maybe Cole might get involved somehow next week. Obviously, because MJF's involved as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Which will obviously rile up Roddy a bit more if he does help Maxwell retain. Maxwell, to give him his real name.
That's good.
Maxwell. But that was a good Dynamite, I thought.
We bring it like that. I think people saw watch it live in one bit. It was like, nah, it's not as good as it has been. It's a bit, especially with the low crowd, apparently. But you watch it back, go, no, not read it back. That was good. That was good. That was good.
It was when the tennis player does a serve and they have to go. The last night's show was and next week's will be a tie-in with Arthur Ashe, you see.
Yes, that was good. He did the tennis.
That was the week in wrestling.
That was the week in
It
wrestling.
didn't even last 2 hours, which was nice.
No, it was Jack talking all the time. God. Meow, meow, meow. I'm scared of people. Meow, meow, meow.
Tom's on the podcast next week.
I'm going to need a day off after that then.
Do we smell what he's cooking?
What he's cooking is illegal.
I was going to say cocaine reference.
He hates them. Dude, I'm like, it's nice as a joke, but when his enemies are going, shut up, you do coke.
Did they really? Oh, God, the joke's
It's
gone too
real
far.
to them. Shut up, Tom. Stop
On the
doing
podcast,
coke.
we need to make it clear. Tom doing cocaine is a joke. It's a reference to how alive he is at all hours of the day, every day. That is it.
It's not a joke to him. He takes it seriously. That's a snort. That's a shoot. That's a shoot.
A snoot? Oh.
Snoot. Anyway, enough.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
Oh, it's bloody Joel joining us.
Hello, Joel.
Mailbag.
How you doing?
Tell us something interesting about yourself, Joel.
My name's Joel. I'm from Pontefract.
Ooh.
And I like wrestling.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Hey.
Aw. You ever kissed a girl?
Oh my
Hey,
god.
oops, is the first person. How the diddle in hell are you wonderful set of people? Yeah, fair enough. As of writing, I am on my way to do the Great North Run, and I'm getting myself ready and in the zone by listening to this week's girthy, huge, pulsating podcast. Yes, I don't know what's wrong with me either. Maybe it's down to you beautiful tones, your beautiful outlooks, your positive outlooks, your beautiful outlooks, please, and banter, or is it just that you are a beautiful bunch of smeg heads? Yay. Anyway, to my
Cheesy
question.
heads.
Oh. Who is a wrestler, promotion, referee, or announcer made it the big time that you first started out seeing on local social clubs, small venues, etc., that when you see them, you get a sense of pride and twinge of happiness having seen them grow? For me, it's everyone at North Wrestling, from the Riverside, the Walker Dome, to working with the XV. Have a great weekend. Lots of love. Former West Ham defender and best penalty taker of the 90s, Julian Dix, up the Dix, a.k.a. Phil from Durham. Bloody hell, Durham lad. Oh,
Dad'em.
up the posh miners. Yeah. But bloody hell.
I mean, I always see like these WCPW originals like Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre scaling the heights of the WWE and thinking, wow, we made them.
The Gabriel
We
Kids,
made the
New
pair.
Japan.
To be fair, that probably is the one. Because when he was like 12 years old when he started. Remember when me and Miller were doing the commentary for that? We started doing the. Well, we're thrown into the studio that quickly with no like real brief of what was going on. We started commentating. I remember it was it was Connors versus Gabe was the first ever match, I think. And we started commentating over someone's music because they hadn't flashed up on screen who it was. And it was Gabe's music, I think. But we were commentating as if it was Connors coming down to the ring. So that's how far he's come. We had no idea basically who he was because we had no time to prep. So yeah, like I seeing him hit the heights he's doing is lovely to see.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm an oldie, I remember just seeing the likes of Kevin Owens doing well. Like, oh, him, little lad from PWG. Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And that seems unreal now. He's maybe been in WWE longer than he was PWG.
Do French then? Yeah.
Well, he's French Canadian, so he's a bit of cursing for the lads. So I'd say him. 3.0.
You must have loads.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was going to say, God, that'll go on all time, but like similar to who's on AEW this week. 3.0, who are still calling that. The two hot Canadians. They're all Canadians for some reason. But
Yeah. Name a not Canadian. Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston. The famously not Canadian Eddie Kingston.
Joel.
Well,
I'm proud of him as well. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
This is where I get exposed because I'm a big old simp. I've only watched WWE for my whole life, so I don't know. I never watched any indie promotions really. WWE and AEW. That's all I watch.
That's enough, isn't it?
I've never even been to a North, Joe. I feel quite bad about
Me
that.
neither, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Thunderstruck, but that was the weekend my dad came up, so we went to a comedy club instead.
You did a normal thing.
He didn't fancy wrestling. I tried
Did he
to
not?
convince him, but nah,
Shotgun.
too weird for him.
That's fair enough, pal. That's a nice answer, thank you. What's up, fellas? Hope all is well. With Gunther recently becoming the longest reigning IC champion, do y'all think they would do the same thing with the United States Championship? And who do y'all want it to be if it were to happen? That's Trey from Texas.
Yes, I do
Y'all.
think they will.
Thank you
Y'all.
kindly. Y'all come back now, you hear? All right, what are we doing?
I'm
Who's
Googling the
thank
longest
you.
reign,
It's
yeah.
Lex Luger, right?
Let me tell you. Let me talk to you. Let me tell you.
Luger.
Yeah.
The longest reigning with 523 days is Lex Luger. If we're going all the way back to
Yeah.
1989,
And
if it's the same lineage.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't believe it's changed. Who's the longest reigning guy who's held it in WWE?
Dean Ambrose, his
Oh,
rule in
that's
2013, 351 days.
Oh, yeah, of course.
MVP from 2007, 343.
Oh, he was
Theory
injured
must be
half
up
of that,
there.
wasn't he?
Theory, yep, he's up the top there, 258. I think is, when he
Yeah,
lost
he-
at War Games last year.
Yeah.
Oh God, he had.
Shelty B from 08's on there. Cesaro from 2012.
Okay.
The Miz from 09. I'm just naming all the modern ones.
Yeah. Fair enough then.
Cody doing that. Oh, he is Mr. American. He's
Yeah,
Captain
that's
America.
a good shout.
It's so good. I got a tattoo to my neck. Yeah.
Yeah, there must be a reference to Dusty Rhodes in there as well with the US title.
Yeah. It must be on that list, right? Yeah. I think.
Did he?
I don't know. I'm not that familiar with that far back, to be honest with you.
Let's have a look.
Stick it on like a Montez Ford.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes is on there.
Good.
141 days
That's
back
it
in
then.
1987.
That's it then.
And then in 99... Oh, that's Dustin. Beg me pardon.
Oh.
Beg me pardon. I mean, he might only be on here once.
Dustin Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' dad.
Yeah, he's only held it once, I think, Dusty.
Oh, fair enough.
On this table on Wikipedia, which is...
You can click the arrows and then it goes.
I know, but I don't want to go out the table.
Ah.
You know what I mean? So it might be at the bottom in the sources.
Very true.
He is in the table once. It's one reign.
No, Cody's a good pick. Just to go, again, like the lineage and stuff like that. And if it wasn't him, I can't think of anybody else, really. There's no ready-made person on the roster who I think, you know what, they should just have a nice long run for no reason.
Terry Spunk.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I might go on.
The new
That
Mr.
one.
America. Well,
Thank you.
He could reign for... Imagine the amount of tables that would get broken.
Yeah.
Throughout a record-breaking Terry Spunk reign. Yes.
It's quite hard to think of any like up and coming single stars, isn't it? Like mid carders. They're all kind of a lot of factions going on now.
Yeah.
Like I said, Montez Ford, but he's starting the thing with Bobby Lashley and.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, they must have plans for him, though, because he was at that TKO thing, wasn't he? Him and Bianca.
yeah. I think he'd be good.
Yeah.
Putting on good matches each week.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
That is what we want.
You know who else could do a really good job with it? LA Knight.
He could. He's
Yeah.
Because then you can get like lots of snappy stuff because I'm going to refuse to drop the title like all those other guys who do podcasts about me. Meh. Hello, lads. It's been a while since we had a poet laureate. Yes. So I thought, that's my pun. So I thought with Cultaholic's 6th birthday approaching, Jesus, I'd make the endeavour.
It's in 2 months' time.
There's no way that's real. Is it?
On 9/11.
6.
9/11 was also the day where everything fell up. Like the old place
cheers,
found
Fletch.
out about Cultaholics. about
The mental
Cultaholics.
gymnastics going on in Ross's head there.
But that was the day when the old place found out about our new venture.
It was on 9/11.
It was.
God.
Yeah.
So you do never forget.
Oh God.
It was quite the day.
God, that The thing that happened in 01, the thing that happened nearly 6 years ago. Nia Jax returning. It's not a it's not a good day, is it?
Poor Nia.
I'd make the endeavor.
Is that a pun?
That's what it says. I thought I'd make the endeavor, but it's kind of sucks that I've talked about something else and gone back to it, so it's just dead like that. I offer no apologies if this sucks. For all of us here who are fans of the Graps, there is one place to go to find out what's the haps. To keep up with the bollocks requires no trick, just a YouTube subscription to Cultaholic. Seriously, mash that sub button. The leader, he rules with quite the iron fist when he's not doing voiceovers for top 10 lists. He entertains us on Tuesdays with old British game shows as we avidly track just how long his beard grows. There is a jovial Ross, he'll always be our king, with WTF and Gary YouTube tier list tings. His humour delight, each appearance is a trip, which catchphrases and of course his impeccable drip.
You know.
Jack is the jobber because he gets it all done. Weird episodes on Newsday, he makes it all fun. He gives us his takes in a cadence unhurried, though he probably should relax. Everything makes him worried. Next up is the Shredder, a driver named Sam, an absolute wizard of all things off cam. He edits, he narrates, he can do it all, and still have time to oversee the prestigious Hall of Ball. Lead of the news, the ray of sunshine named Tom. Bring him on board, the boys did no wrong. He spreads positivity with uplifting things to say. It's no lie to state that Tom brightens everyone's day. Cowboy Andrew the Dingle is beloved by all, though he has to wear hats to hide that shiny cue ball. He's an absolute sweetheart, is what we've all heard. Quite the wonderful gent for a baldy bastard. Maffew keeps us all giggling and brings all the laughs with his jokes at the expense of wrestling gaffs. Sans his humour and references, the podcast feels wrong, though the NXT segment is still way too long.
Up yours, podcast Larry. Sorry, poet Lariat man.
There are so many others toiling away backstage, like Owen, Dick Tubbs, Jackins, and Aiden, the lesser news ape.
And Joel.
Yeah, well, how did you manage that? And so many others, the best team in the biz. Without them, Cultaholic wouldn't be what it is. No O would be complete without a mention of Jen. Seriously, when she's going to be on Cultaholic again? Oh, cheers to Cultaholic, our home for things wrestling related. It's been 6 years now and our enjoyment has never abated. To keep up with the wrestling, there's really no trick. Just join us in the wonderful world of Cultaholic. I could have ended this poem in one of many ways, but only one ending fits, and that's to say, up the faves. That's one for Jack then. Can't believe it's been almost 6 years. Here's hoping for many, many more. Keep doing what you do because you're absolutely smashing it, and we all effing love you for it. Signed, former Nottingham Forest striker Pierre von Hoojdonk.
Hoydonk.
Thank you. Oh, you know, Eric from Boston, a.k.a. Wicked Easy. Yes, I Googled obscure footballers from the 90s, and that name screamed off the page at me. He must be in the huge donk. Bloody hell, mate. Eric from Boston, thank you very much for your magnificent poem.
That was
very
wonderful.
much
You must
appreciated.
know Wicked Easy from the chats and whatnot, your
And
Twitches and
Wicked Easy.
stuff. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Up the Wicked Easy.
Thank you, Wicked Easy. And the huge donk and your
Are you all right,
magnificent
Maffew?
ability. Oh, I was rather tickled by that. I was like, oh, it's rather sweet that someone put that much effort into saying, thanks, lads.
Aye.
Great.
It's mad. It's been nearly 6 years as well.
Yeah, it's also me going, yeah, it is, isn't it? Jeez.
A lot of
Speaking
time.
of your impeccable drip, what happened to your glasses? You never wear your glasses anymore.
I keep forgetting them.
Is that it?
I need to wear them.
Fair play.
I've started watching AEW at home, as you know, and then coming into work, and I always just leave them on me desk at home.
Oh, yeah, AEW watching glasses.
Yeah. My rose tinted ones.
Yeah. Let's see things at 1.5 speed. Oh, well, thank you very much to everybody who sends in stuff and people who don't, who just listen for nearly 6 years
Aye.
of lovely goodness.
What episode number is this? You'll know.
We're 298, I think. We're nearly at 300.
Whoa!
That's a lot. That's a lot, isn't it?
What we're going to do for the big 300?
Oh, yeah.
Coke.
Imagine.
Oh, we have to do something different, don't we? Right, sorry. Nah.
We forgot the Coke today, didn't we? That's why it's a bit subdued.
Jack took it with him when he left.
That's why Jack's gone to get some more.
Start more rooms. Yeah. This is good.
Thank you very much, all of you. Mailbag@cultaholic.com. Wrist piss.
Riss piss.
Hi, lads. I'm not sure if this concept has already been done because there are so many episodes, and I cannot be bothered to go back and check. It's fair enough. But if it hadn't been done before, then I thought it would be cool for this week's Reese's Pieces. We look at some wrestling championship belt designs. I've gone through and picked out some of the best and worst belt designs of all time and paired them together. And you guys just have to pick one or t'other. Good luck. Cultaholic FC legend and member of the Hall of Fames, Glenny Omega.
Hey.
The Glenny Omega.
Thank you, Glenny. Let's have a look at these then. All right, so fastest thought first. The TNA Immortal belt versus the TNA Legends Championship. Hang on. TNA Immortal.
I'm having to Google them.
say.
Images. TNA Legends. Is that like
Okay, yeah. So
Rosy
Legends is
number.
a red one. Okay, fair enough. I'm just gonna move
the
around
Immortal belt? Is
Jeff
dear.
Hardy's one. We made it look like himself. That's right.
I think
Pretty good.
the Legends wins by a landslide. That's
Oh, no, I
No.
looked at Jeff Hardy.
I
once.
don't know.
That's right,
It's got character, that.
It looks like him.
That's disgusting.
It's awful.
He's a
isn't it?
dig. He starts. He's a bad guy. Because I had to tell about like him, and he was smoking.
Any belt that looks like you could put it on your face and go, hee hee hee, I'm wearing a mask. No, thank you.
So much fun.
me, Jeff Hardy. NWA World's Heavyweight Championship versus the WWF Winged Eagle Championship.
Winged Eagle.
Yeah, gotta be Winged Eagle.
It's funny that people call it Winged Eagle, as Conrad Thompson pointed out, as opposed to what? An eagle without wings.
Yeah.
But the
Mascot
Winged
eagle.
Eagle. The WWE Hardcore versus the WCW Hardcore. Can you Google the WCW Hardcore
It was just
one?
like a normal belt.
Because the WWF Hardcore one looked like a mismatch. Looked like
It's a normal
the
title
rumor
belt.
of it being the old belt that they never used and stuff.
This is the one I recognise more as the WCW one.
It's that's just very generic,
Smiley
that.
Norman. Smiley.
With Nick Patrick. They both stood up.
No, it's WWF for me.
They're playing Connect 4. Was that? Anyway.
Like their crates, the vegetables arriving.
Oh, I see. Yes, the hardcore one. Fantastic. WWF Tag Team Championship versus the TNA X Division, the current one they're using. Oh,
TNA X Division.
Versus the old tag team championships.
yes, there's a WWF Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, them.
Oh, the big red X, of course, yes.
Oh, I prefer your classic WWF tag team titles, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the old belts, so yeah, they win. The WWE Spinner Belt versus the Divas Championship.
Oh, Spinner.
Spinner.
Diva's one of the worst, isn't it?
Yeah,
Down with the butterflies.
right. TNA World Heavyweight Championship from 2011 versus the TNA Knockouts Original.
TNA World Championship 2011.
Purest typing from Ross here. Oh, yeah, with the
that's nice.
silver,
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
the TNA Knockouts title.
Knockouts title.
Yeah. So the World Heavyweight Championship for 2011 is the one that Bobby Roode won for the first time.
That white one, is it? I
I
assume?
guess.
Nice-
Yeah, it was white,
Nice
right?
crown on.
Yeah, that'll be it because it's got TNA written on it. Yeah,
I'm going to go for the knockouts. I like
I'm
the crown.
I'm going for the world.
yeah, I'm going for the world.
Championship.
Yeah.
I think that just looks like a bit of a big gold rip-off, yeah.
Big gold's good, though.
Yeah, big gold, but that's a rubbish looking photo of it. But like with you look at the Bobby Roode one, who's got it there.
Oh, when it's on
when
him.
yeah, it looks
nice
way
and
way
big.
better when it's actually in real life. Right?
Yeah.
The WWE Universal Red versus WWE Universal Blue.
Red.
Yeah, red.
I have
like
to
red
pick a
better.
colour. I'll say blue because it doesn't matter 'cause it's 2-1. AEW International Championship versus the Intercontinental Championship.
The current.
Yes.
International.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a nice
Old school one, I'm picking IC. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the current one, yeah, whatever. AEW World Championship versus the NXT Championship, the current one.
Oh, AEW.
Yeah.
I think AEW is probably the best one in wrestling, full stop. At the
Yeah.
minute.
Very, very, very pretty. NXT North American Championship versus the WWE Undisputed Championship.
Oh, I'm a sucker for the North American,
So
like with
am I.
the rouge strap.
Yeah. I'd pick that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go that one.
Yeah, go on then.
Good job. WWE Women's Championship versus WWE Women's World Championship.
So the two current belts on the main roster.
Yeah.
The Rio one.
Yeah, the real one.
I think it's the World Championship.
Yeah, but only when it's on Rhea. IWGP Heavyweight Championship, the fourth version, versus the NXT UK Championship.
When it's the UK Championship, because that was one of the nicest belts ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the
remember?
colour design of it? Just remind me.
It is.
I mean, what's that stand for? NXT UK.
Championship. There he is.
Oh, yeah, because it's got the logo with the
Yeah.
horse.
Oh,
and
it
the
looked lovely.
pony.
So you want the IWGP
Look at
what?
all them white lads.
IWGP fourth
Is that this one?
Fourth version of the heavyweight title.
heavy weight title. That's the one
with
before
all the screws.
before the current one, yeah, because that's the current one there. With the,
Oh, the little
spiky bits.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the one before that. Then
So that one there.
that one's not that. The full version doesn't look that cool. It's like
Yeah,
No.
definitely
UK.
NXT UK.
it looks like you slot stuff on it. Anyway, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which we've just seen the current one versus the WWE Cruiserweight with the
the purple
black
one. Oh, the black one.
not purple one then. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well the IWGP. 2 evil belts that one.
I'll probably pick the IWGP.
I agree.
AEW Women's versus the TNT Oi Championship.
Women's, I think.
Which what was the other one? TNT? Oh, the TNT title.
Yeah.
Oh, they both look very similar, don't they?
The current women's, not the old.
Do you prefer women or explosions?
Do you remember the old women's one? It was tiny.
Yeah, it looked
That was
tiny on
terrible.
Rio, didn't it? I'll go for the women's, yeah.
Yeah, up the women. WWF Attitude Era versus the World Heavyweight Championship Big Gold Belt. The Attitude.
So it'll be
I thought that was the wing. No,
the
it's,
circular
oh yeah, the smoke.
eagle.
Right.
I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, I've heard of it as well.
That's tough.
Versus the what? Sorry.
The World Heavyweight Championship, the Big Gold Belt,
Oh,
as
the
they
big
call
gold
it.
belt all
I
day.
love the Big Gold Belt.
Yeah.
It's classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Class.
10 pounds of gold in the corner, says Gordon Soley. That's how he talked. I assume the people who watch it don't know who the hell he is. So thank you very much for those wonderful picks. Glenny Omega.
Oh,
If you
the
have
Glenny
any
Omega.
Reese's Pieces of your own, please keep them to yourself. And then thought, nah, sod it, might as well share it. And go to mailbag at cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
We've reached the end of another girthy podcast.
Is that your Maffew?
Oh yes. How you doing, pal?
Churchill, can I save money on my insurance?
We've reached the other end. We've reached the end of another girthy podcast. Now it's time to thank our wonderful producers, who are Reno2200
He's from the future.
and Noah Anderson.
Anderson.
The jingles, lads. How you doing?
Oh, it's all right, Matthew. I've only had 3 cries today. What's the big question this week?
It's something to do with Jade Cargill matches and WWE for SEO purposes. Who would you want to see Jade Cargill face in the World Wrestling Entertainment?
Well, not me. I'm so intimidated by her. I have to switch off the telly whenever she's on.
Oh my god!
I have to go online to PW Insider free version and then
He's
see how
out
long
there
the
trying
time
to
is.
get you some coke, and you're slandering his goodness.
Well, where is he? I gave him the money. I'm not going to see him again. Shocking, man.
So, to set the scene, Fightful have reported overnight that former AEW TBS champion Jade Cargill is finishing up with AEW and is expected to go to the WWE. Ooh. Apparently, the belief is her current AEW deal expires as soon as this week. And while there were discussions about Cargill staying, nothing new was ever agreed to. She's slated for a Rampage appearance, but I think that's been recorded by the time we're sat here. She's not slated to appear for any other AEW dates as of us sat here right now.
End of an era.
So then, there was a report, as we mentioned earlier, from a AEW source to somebody. So I think it's a bit of a case of sour grapes saying that Jade Cargill would go to NXT. We think that's a load of pish.
Yep.
She's got to go straight to the main roster. So how do you want to see her debut? Who do you want to see her go up against? I think that's what we're going to
I like that you did this better than me. That was a nice thing.
That's
Alan.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
How you doing? I think having her be the trade to SmackDown.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Ooh. Having
Indeed.
her debut like that just puts her right at the top of the card, and then she can go after whoever,
Yeah.
Roman Reigns included.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
She should win the US title and then be the longest reigning US
Oh,
champion.
Joe,
ever.
wrapping it all up like a season finale.
It's a callback.
No more loose ends. Yes, I like that. Rhea Ripley.
I think that's
the obvious
that's
one.
the obvious one, yeah. But if you want to introduce her in a big way, that's the biggest match you can get, really, isn't it?
Oh yes, but that means she'd be on Raw.
They don't care. Those things only matter when they matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley's the one.
LA Knight's been on Raw and SmackDown every bloody week.
Yeah, she could wipe out Nia Jax. Nice start of
she
the company.
could.
Just Jade. I think it's a Jade bomb there. What's her finishing move? The thingy. I forgot the name. Good lord, it's been so long.
Emerald, no.
She's not Irish.
We did this in a podcast a while ago. I swear I did the same thing again. So I'm like, a Jade's green, right?
The Jaded. That's it.
That's it,
The
yeah.
Jaded. Ba-boom. Do one of them.
Yeah.
Baboom.
Yeah. Off the side of a building.
Yeah, Vic Joseph's commentating. Ba-boom.
Boom. Bam.
All right. It's Crash Bang Wallop. What a video.
You just hear doors smashing. That is somewhat angry at the prospect of Nia Jax being written off television via a jaded off a building.
Everyone's getting, yeah, it is green. Yeah, thank you. Everyone's getting upset about the idea. Oh, no, Jackson's back. Yeah, she's just there just so Jade can beat her up.
Yeah, fantastic way to book her.
Yeah.
Joel, anyone else you're going to throw in the mix?
Becky.
Yeah.
She's on Raw, is she?
To win the
So
NXT Championship, yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Although we don't want that, do we?
No, we don't. She's straight on the main roster if she goes, surely.
Yeah, she's got to go main.
Charlotte's another one, just to see how interesting that would be
yeah.
with, Jade usurping her position potentially.
Oh, Bianca Belair. Just, you think of the EST until I came here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting how she interact with Asuka. Just
How so?
Asuka doing her crazy stuff and Jade like,
And it's like, I'm used to dealing with crazy, irrational people. And everyone goes, she means AEW. And she
it'd
was
be
like,
great if we got a mixed tag match at WrestleMania with the returning the ghost of Shaq. After he went missing in her debut for AEW, he comes back.
he shows up via ambulance. God. Yeah, I think there's a great upside for her. I think the AEW, many positives. I'm not crapping on AEW, just there 2 weeks ago. I had a great time. But yeah, they don't treat women the same way. They're kind of like the afterthought, whereas WWE were like, no, the stars as well.
I think it's just the way she came back to TV last weekend as well, sat here. The fact that she's just doing the same thing. I know that they were going to give us the blow-off match with Chris Statlander, which is where they were going to before Jade dropped the title, but it just felt like, not that there was a lack of thought put into it, but it felt like maybe for Jade return there'd be something a bit different, a bit more, and there wasn't. But there we go.
It just felt like, ever since the debut, we were just like, she's going to be massive in AEW. And then she just, like you said earlier, she's just done the same thing every week, really. She's just the same matches.
Yep.
And I think the way she is, the way she presents herself, the way she wrestles, the look of her, all that sort of stuff, I think she's more suited to WWE than she is AEW.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I think once they put the push on her, it's like, absolutely look at her, like how she wrestles, her personality, and everything else that she does. It should be great. And I hope she's not got vertigo, because she's going straight to the top, Ross.
Oh.
Scrummy.
That's me doing a Ricky Starks trying to get one good line in.
If they actually give Raquel a character, that could be a good match.
Big
Two
man,
big,
cool.
muscly
Just give her a
women.
motorbike.
Not smiling like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at my back. Yeah, it's nice.
Wear a t-shirt. Don't want to see the back
Look at
anymore.
my t-shirt.
Cover yourself.
Look, I want to see a band. And look at all the tour dates they've played. Wow.
I think we've exhausted all the ones there. I bet there's some in NXT as well. Obviously, Tiffy Stratz has got to be up there because she will be on the main roster, you'd assume, quite soon. But yeah, I guess we've covered all the bases there, have we? It's been quite a short podcast, hasn't it? In the grand scheme
I
of
don't
things.
think there's anything wrong with that.
Me
per
neither.
se.
Bring back Tubman in Japan.
More Bob Sapu.
Have you? I was going to say, did you use your gift off Richard? But mine was the only food-based one, I think. I've not used it yet. It's in the cupboard. My blue Mount Fuji curry thing. Do
Oh,
you
how
remember?
was it?
I've not used it yet.
Oh,
Not been brave enough.
yeah.
He said, didn't he? A few people said that they tried it and ended up, getting intestines removed and stuff.
Oh, right.
Not that severe, but they had the scoots, as my gran would put it. The scoots.
Yeah, I'm
what
going to
was-
give that to someone as a gift at Christmas or something. Just
What
move
was
on.
your present, Maffew?
I got what's it called? So annoying. I've got the big tiger thing for Medicine Hat. So bad, I don't know the name of it.
No,
Medicine Hat
that wasn't
Tiger.
Somebody
off,
else, man. That
yeah,
was off Bill.
Yeah,
Montana
that one
Bill.
off Tubman.
Oh crap!
You got Bob Sapp.
Oh yeah, I
off
got
Tubman.
Babu Sabu. Yeah,
Oh, that was it. Yeah, of course.
yeah. Sorry, it was just weeks of gift receiving. It was like Hanukkah.
Yeah.
I need to thank Montana Bill, by the way, because my life has been flipped upside down by the introduction to whole coffee beans.
Oh,
And the overnight process, which you put in his letter. Oh, if you haven't tried it, try it. And then put it through the air press in the morning so it gets refined even more.
Oh, wow.
so it is worth doing it. Beans to powder, I guess. What
Yeah,
they call it.
beans to powder. Put it in your jug to soak up. This is what if you want an iced coffee.
All right.
Soak it overnight in the fridge.
Yeah.
Just like let it, muster in itself. Is that the right word? I'm trying to speak like a coffee person. I can't.
You're doing
do
a
it.
good job so far.
And then you just basically use your AeroPress like you would in the morning normally. Get a lovely refined cup of iced coffee. Oof, the flavour. It's intense.
I'm going to buy an AeroPress soon.
Oh, it's worth it.
You need.
So I'm just an instant boy at the moment. But
Oh, it's worth it.
Boo.
yeah, I feel like
Once I'm telling you
I
though,
go,
it's a double-edged sword. You will not go back to
Yeah,
instant unless
that's
it's
what
the
I've heard.
only thing there.
yeah.
Jack Atkins has started using the inverted method, which I haven't tried yet because of my jittery nature with my hands. I know for a fact as soon as I feel a bit of warmth, I'll just drop everything.
Yeah.
and I'll be buying several mugs a week. Anyway, that's the end of the wrestling podcast. All right.
Yes, it is. What a wonderful way to end a lovely week. We'll be back for more next week. It'll be me, you, and Tom.
It will be Tom, yeah, Jack.
So make sure you book a week off work.
Bit of time off next week, aye.
It'll be a chaotic one again.
It will. I will have to do the coke before the show, obviously, like last week as well. So, yeah. In terms of stuff that's coming up, I've got no idea because I was off on Monday, Tuesday this week, so I don't know what's going on. Videos, I imagine.
Bless you. Everyone's just recovering from the crazy 2 weeks or so we've had of wrestling.
Shattered last week.
Yeah, I know.
What a bad time it was.
God.
Same.
I also don't have much to do because I've realised I'm giving myself RSI with my current desk, so I'm waiting for anyone to come in.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm not been on the PC that much.
Sit stand?
Nah, for editing.
Yeah.
Can't stand up for that.
I don't know. Lots of people have
yeah.
sit-stand desks these days.
You edit stand up?
No, but I would like to try it.
That's what I mean. Like, all right, you do that. I'm not going to do that.
There's
But
freaks out there who have the standing desks and then put a treadmill underneath and walk while working.
Oh, wow.
I can see doing other stuff. Like, maybe one day I'll get that level when I grow up. But until then, it's just, wrestling, I guess. Ooh. I guess I'll be doing a Twitch streaming on Sunday evening. Yes, I will. And I won't be getting washed out like the poor people who do the Great North Run last weekend. Poor sods. My heart breaks for you.
That was a different level of rain.
Yep.
And the Met rules
Flash
went
flooding,
off. Yeah.
yep.
Subscribe to Hold and Give if you like football because more content is coming there. A different vibe of content. I'm going to try something new. What that will be, find out when it gets published. Probably on Sunday.
Little tease.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Until then, Joel, anything to plug actually before?
What have I been doing? I just edited the true story of the Lex Express, or Lex's failed WWE run. That's
right,
on the
yeah.
channel now. Can we plug in?
How dare you call it a failure? It is, isn't it? Yes. But,
Wasn't great.
well, we need a
that's it.
hero, and our one in the office is Joel, obviously. So that's something to look forward to. Can't wait to look at that on the Cultaholics. Until then, mailbag at cultaholic.com, patreon.com/cultaholic. And also twitch.tv/cultaholic for Sam Driver and his haul of balls.
He's not streaming tonight.
The one time I remember to plug
well,
it,
this is going
and
out
he's
tomorrow
not
anyway.
doing it.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Just follow.
The
He'll do
VOD will be
something.
there if he does stream. Is he streaming? No.
Not tonight.
Someone will be doing summit.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy, wacky people there. Right?
Oh, what the like, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
We are stuttering to an end
Panning
here.
out the podcast now.
So now we're going to look at this. Point at the count of 3. What's happened this week? Oh, R.I.P. Cum. Because obviously he's dead.
Could age terribly, but there we go.
1, 2, 3. R.I.P. Cum.
Wagamama.
Oh.